approach, Sky 6316, 8.8 for 6,000.
Sky 6316, NorCal approach, still maintain 3,000, number 1 for the right.
3,000, Sky 6316.
Redwood 811, still maintain 4,000, airport over the fog, 1.
Take you higher and higher and higher. You're feeling it over and over again. Take you higher and higher and higher. You're feeling it over and over again.
6 Roman Carefly, runway heading, runway 5. Let's take off.
Check! Hey!
And we are ready for takeoff. Sit back, relax. It's time to travel with Cosmic Passport. Spaced Out Weekend presents Elizabeth Anglin's Cosmic Passport. A 1-hour warm-up of news, stories, thoughts, and ideas to captivate your mind. You can follow us at spacedoutradio.com.
Now 20 years have passed us by, and we look back and count the time. Burning like the summer sun, when the world was young. As I lay staring from the ground, and 7 trumpets wait to sound.
And now, here's Our Lady of Flight, Cosmic Passport with Elizabeth Anglin.
From this place.
Hello and welcome to Spaced Out Radio Weekend. This is your host before the host, Elizabeth Anglin, coming to you from beautiful Madrid, New Mexico, where we are having this wonderful, hot, balmy June. We call it the June swoon in Madrid. You might call Madrid, Madrid, but it's Madrid. I'm here tonight in a little bit with James Tyson. I'm not going to bring him on yet because he's kind of like, you know you want him, but I'm going to make you wait for him. And he's going to be on later tonight after talking with me with Joanna, our psychic medium Joanna, and Paisley, our wonderful and enlightened numerologist who says the coolest things with numerology. But before we get started with that, I'm not going to talk about news. I just have some musings and some ponderings from my soon to, sooner than many of you to be moldering in the ground brain. Not real soon, but sooner than any of you who are less than half a century old. Oh my gosh, I just dated myself. So tonight I want to talk about, besides the great thing that is Spaced Out Radio, if you like our shows, if you've been listening to them, if you haven't yet, go to spacedoutradio.com and go to the archives and check out some of the shows that have been on. We have a wide variety of guests talking about a wide variety of things in the paranormal, with aliens, with abductees, contactees, UFOs, and cryptozoology especially. We've got a great group of Bigfoot critter people here on Spaced Out Radio. Check us out at spacedoutradio.com. Go to the archives. If you like what you hear, go, consider becoming a Spaced Out Radio space traveler. You can click on the link and you will get our newsletter, which is soon to come out in the next month, which I am editing. Woohoo, I can edit. I'm patting myself on the head. And you will also get swag. We have wonderful things in line, books and apparels of clothing, items of clothing, and things like that. So it's community here. We try to be involved in the chat room. We try to hear your ideas for shows, for guests. We're just regular people, even though some of us have weird lives. We're still just regular people doing regular things and being interested and curious about the cosmology of a universe that is perhaps larger than we were first led to believe back when we were little and watching The Brady Bunch. Oh my gosh, I'm dating myself again. Or Gilligan's Island. Some of you remember those shows, I'm sure. So in any case, tonight I'm going to tell you, I want to talk a little bit about some things I've been hearing over time. If you don't know about me, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I am Elizabeth Anglin. I am an author. I have recently published a book called Experience: Memoirs of an Abducted Childhood. And it is about being an abductee from early childhood in a very conservative community in southern lower Michigan, where they did have a big UFO flap and where people were told to be quiet about it and not talk about it. And I have a family member who also was an abductee who knows about his experiences, a parent. And since it's a he, that is my dad, and it is Father's Day, and my dad is wicked cool. And he's never lied about his experiences. He has never shoved them under the rug so far. If he's ever been asked about anything, my dad, being the wicked cool, honest dad that he is, has come out and said, yep, I know about that. Yep, I had something like that happen. So according to my dad, his dad was also the experiencer in my family, and my dad grew up on a farm in northern Alabama that was owned by my grandmother and my grandfather, and my grandfather was so frightened of his experiences, he saw a spaceship in the middle of the road on his way to Hackleburg from northwest of Hamilton. And he never went the shortcut to Hackleburg again. He went 40 miles around. So, there's some things I want to say about things I've been hearing lately about, quote unquote, the consciousness of people who are abductees. And I've been hearing these things from various sources. I've been hearing them from other trance mediums or spirit mediums or people who are in the business of trance channeling. I've been hearing them from contactees who are not necessarily abductees. And I've been hearing them from also the Christian community, of which I consider myself a member, though I'm sure if there was a pope I'd be excommunicated. But obviously I'm not Roman Catholic, so guess what, all you evangelicals? You can't excommunicate me for being psychic and having alien abductions, because you ain't got no pope. And it's a good thing, isn't it? Think about that for a little bit. So there are things I'm told. One is that if you are an abductee, you didn't ask Jesus to come and, you didn't send the aliens away by invoking the name of Jesus. Okay, that may work for some people if that is in their life lesson plan to work for them, or if they're not really meant to be abducted, or if they have a group of aliens that can really take their memory away, it may appear to work for them. So the first thing I'll say is I tried that when I was younger, 25 years ago. It didn't work for me. So obviously it doesn't work for everybody. And I consider myself a born-again Christian. I have a personal relationship with Jesus. I am a near-death experiencer. When I died, I saw Jesus. We had a conversation. We have plans to meet again when I get back to the other side. I'm good with that, and I will have my conversations with Jesus, and they mean something important to me experientially. It doesn't mean to me, and this is where the evangelicals would excommunicate me, it does not mean to me that Jesus is the be-all and end-all of the trip through a life of spirit. It just means Jesus is my guy. And there are many, many writings throughout the Bible, throughout the Quran, throughout other religious groups that say we put people on earth differently so that you can all learn from each other. And I think this is something that really needs to be brought up, not just in the paranormal community, but also in the contactee, abductee community, and also in the community in the United States, and also in the religious community. We put people here differently. This is God talking in the Quran, actually, and other places. We made people different so you can learn from each other. And this goes to the heart of something that people forget time and time again. That when it comes to life on earth, no matter what someone's experience of life, of their personal life, of their family life, of their relationship life, of their relationships with Bigfoot, with horses, with toads, with aliens, with their kids, no matter what their experiences are in the spiritual world, and no matter what their gender and no matter what their preference is, in the spiritual world, we are all spiritually equal. Now, this does not mean, and I'm not going to go where you think I'm going to go with this, this does not mean that somebody has a right to come along and say, yeah, we're all spiritually equal, but you haven't been working on it the right way. Think about that for a minute. We're all spiritually equal, but you're not resonating at a good frequency. We're getting a little new age here, right? Well, we're all spiritually equal, but, you don't believe in Jesus the same way I believe in Jesus, so you're going to go to hell. No, it doesn't mean any of those things. We don't get to say we're all spiritually equal, but you're a woman, so you have to do what I say because I'm a man. We don't get to say that. We don't get to say we're all spiritually equal, but there is no but. It does not happen. The but is an illusion. The but is what causes conflict. I'm now thinking of our friend, hey Simone, let's talk about your big butt. Well, the butt's the problem. Let's talk about your big butt. Because there are a lot of people in the world who will say, yeah, we're all spiritually equal, but I'm right. But I'm doing this right, you're not. No, just stop. That's not how it works. And I had to think about this after listening to last night's show because I really, really liked the guest. And I've heard other guests who are similar. Samantha Mowat. Joanna was wonderful. Joanna L. Ross is wonderful. Samantha Mowat is wonderful. So much insight, so much wisdom, so much of the higher dimensional alien light being stuff to share. But when you ask them about abductees, or if you ask somebody who's coming from a perspective of not being an abductee, who's maybe going off into working with the councils, working with different teams of light beings, and they're not an abductee. They've never been abducted. They didn't have a parent who was abducted, a grandparent who was abducted. They didn't have to deal with the issues in their family. They didn't have to try to find physical proof when they went to go research their abductions. They didn't lose relationships over it. Okay? They haven't been through the hardship of being an abductee. They tend to say really good answers. They've had a lot of good answers, like, well, that's for the people who have lower consciousness. No. And the reason I'm saying no is because we're all spiritually equal, and there are no buts about this. The reason the experience is different is because when we come into this lifetime, when we are sent here by Spirit to be of service in spirit to this world and to each other and to our communities and to our religions that are growing and evolving and to our governments that are growing and evolving and to our academic establishments and our scientific research establishments that are growing and evolving, and to each other on radio shows like this because we are growing and evolving. When we are sent in, we are sent in with our own individual plans. And those plans are right for us individually. They don't have to do with somebody being of a lower consciousness. They don't have to do with somebody being of a higher consciousness. They don't have to do with any spiritual hierarchy. They have to do with where does it look like this person who is going to be, where does it look like this person can be of the most service to the whole, to themselves and to the whole. And I respectfully would like to say to some contactees out there who are saying, well, you know, people are abducted because their consciousness is lower. No. And I would respectfully like to say, you are not an abductee because it wouldn't have served you to be one, and you would not be able to be of service through being an abductee, and it would probably be very hard for you to be an abductee if you were one. So that's what I have to say about that. There are people in the world, I have wonderful friends who are straight ahead scientists who are narrow, you know, they'll kind of listen to this and maybe they'll listen to this radio show, or they've listened to other shows I've done. They said, wow, that was really interesting that you said those things and that you talked about that. But, you know, where's the scientific proof? And I'm not sure I believe in any of it. Well, that's okay. It's not that their consciousness is low. It's that they're doing a different job. They came here to be of service in a different way. They came here to learn in the places where they were ready to learn the things that they need to learn that they haven't learned yet. My scientist friends who don't believe a word that comes out of my mouth, who think I'm very charming but maybe nuts, are as enlightened as anybody I know. Think about that for a minute. They may not be very helpful to me, or they may be helpful. Some of them want to be, because I can be charming. But the fact of the matter is, they are as enlightened and as spiritual and on their path in the right way at the right time for them. And this is what we're here for. This is why the earth is so varied. This is why we all have so many different experiences. And it doesn't do us any good to say, well, you know, we wouldn't have any pain or any suffering if other people didn't have low consciousness. Think about this for a minute. Have you ever met anybody from Africa? Put your hands up if you're listening. Have you met anybody from Liberia, for example? Nigeria? Liberia is this incredible country where people are incredibly cool. And I've heard about this from my family. They run an orphanage, or they've run orphanages there. And they placed a lot of Liberian children in homes in the United States and other places. And the people in Liberia are incredibly conscious in their way. But they had a terrible dictator, and then they had a bunch of warlords. And they were cutting people's arms and legs off and having child warriors and all sorts of ridiculousness. But the people are beautiful, spiritual, wonderful people. Now, we can raise their consciousness. We can do things like FLFE, or we can, you know, teach them ways of raising their consciousness. But I'm going to jump someplace else before we do that for Liberia. Have you ever heard about Tibet? Have you ever heard about the monks who chant, the monks who become enlightened? Very, very wise, spiritually wise, highly conscious people, both lay people and spiritual people in Tibet. What happened there? Was it a problem of their consciousness that drove the Chinese to come in and take over their country and start killing lay people and monks and start doing a massive genocide? Was it because the Tibetans had a lower consciousness? Most of you people, and you know who you are if I'm about to say this, and you hear it and you know it's you, many of you who are on the spiritual path, who are meditating, who are listening to chants and Buddhist monks, and listening and have learned how to do various forms of meditation, including creative visualization and magnetizing and manifestation, and you know what I'm talking about. A lot of those things came from Tibet. So why is it that the Tibetans are overrun by Chinese? Is it because of their consciousness? These are questions if you're going to be talking about somebody else's consciousness creating their problems. You're going to find an example anywhere in the world that says, no, that's not how to look at it. It was time for Tibet to have that experience so they could learn to grow in compassion, so that they could learn to be challenged, so that they could learn to overcome, or they could learn to be stronger than they had to be since the time any Buddhists were in Tibet. This overrunning of Tibet by the Chinese has forced many Tibetans to become much stronger than they ever have had to be at any time period in the past. And that if somebody chose to be living there and to go through that, that doesn't mean that their consciousness was lacking anything. It means that that was the learning experience that they chose for this lifetime so that they could test themselves spiritually, so that they could refine themselves, so they could grow, so they could evolve. It has nothing to do with the state of their quote-unquote consciousness. It has to do with the path that they chose. Now, there are minor things about consciousness that I want to tell people about. You know, there are critters running about doing nasty, gnarly things, and, you know, there's some negative entities and demons running about in the astral plane, and sometimes they make us say things we don't mean, and sometimes they influence us to get angrier than we really should, and, you know, those are things that as you go along the path, you learn to recognize when they're around, and you learn to deal with them. And if you don't learn, well, then I suppose that on the surface, the mucked up surface, that is a reflection, or your consciousness is reflecting those problems. But on the interior, you can have somebody who is a big-time bodhisattva who's decided to become a drunk and get covered over with demons in this lifetime. It doesn't mean that they are not a very powerful bodhisattva. It just means in this lifetime, they decided to spend their time sitting on a bar stool every once in a while, dispensing what they had to dispense in service to the next guy sitting on the bar stool. And if you look at their outer shell, yeah, they look kind of gunky. But when you get to the interior, it's still the same big light. It's still the same enlightened being in the oneness that we all are. So, anyway, I'm almost done talking about that. That is my rant for this evening. Spiritual equality and there are no buts. Or let's talk about your big butt, because if you find yourself talking down about somebody else's experience of life and calling it they're either, you know, not born again enough, didn't call on Jesus enough, didn't call on Vishnu enough, didn't do enough meditation, or just aren't conscious enough, or whatever enough. No, that's not how it works. We are not here to judge other people's spirituality or their consciousness. We are here to learn from other people and their differing experiences of life. And this is one time in the history and the reality of humanity that we have so many ways that we can do it. Our only job should be to be grateful that people show up and they tell us their experiences, and they come even when we don't want to hear about them. And this is where we get back to the whole alien abduction thing. It is very clear to me, after 25 years of having been an alien abductee since I was a very small child, and having moved more into the contactee phase around the age of 32, that people don't like abductions being real. And it doesn't matter if they tell you that they're spiritual people, if they're trance mediums or spirit mediums or psychics, or they have, you know, this guy on some council over here who says it doesn't happen, or if they are Chris French, who's, luckily I can't give you the email for tonight, who's saying it's all sleep paralysis, or it's a certain type of you have a certain type of individual personality that makes you believe in weird crap. That would be the scientific way to saying it. Oh, you have that weird crap psychopathology. No. There are so many people who believe in this who are not at all like me, who don't have. There is no such thing as believing in the weird crap psychopathology. So, you can keep trying to say that there is, but it doesn't exist. nobody, from the most skeptical of skeptics to the most believer of believers in aliens and councils and Syrians and Pleiadians, mostly nobody wants to believe that alien abductions happen. And here is why. Because they threaten the very underlying underpinnings of what we grow up with, what we were taught, what our parents were taught, what our lineages have taught us for years and millennia, that we are it. We have dominion here. There is nothing above us, and nothing can have any power over us on the earth, or nothing can appear to do anything negative to us, unless it's like a saber-toothed tiger, or you run into a lion and, or you get bit by a snake, something like that. But there's nothing that is more intelligent than us, or more beloved of God, or in any image of God like us. Our ego gets so frightened by both the ideas of advanced technology, hypersmartness, and being treated like an animal that people, by and large, react from their reactive mind when you tell them about alien abduction. It doesn't matter how advanced they think they are. It doesn't matter how smart they think they are. It doesn't matter how savvy and sophisticated they think they are. They react with, no, that can't be right. I must reject even thinking about that, because that is too horrifying to even comprehend. The only people who aren't horrified anymore are the abductees. And there are still abductees. And I guarantee you, I have met some of the most conscious, best healers, incredible psychics, incredible mediums who are actually not contactees. They can be, but they are also actually abductees. So just be careful there. You may not want to hear about abduction, or spaceships being real and solid, or aliens being real and solid, or people actually having missing time, or anyone ever getting abducted by an alien, because, my gosh, they must be friendly space brothers, or they must not exist at all. You may not want to hear it, but that doesn't mean it's right for you to tell somebody else that it hasn't happened to the people who say it has happened to them, or to invalidate the people who say it has happened to them in some way, like saying, well, their consciousness is low. And that's really all I have to say about that. It's time for a commercial, James.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott, and I would like to invite you to listen Monday through Friday right here on Spaced Out Radio. 3 hours a night of the top stories with the top guests, ranging topics from UFOs to ETs, ghosts to Sasquatch, and everything in between. We are live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. So come on in and take a listen at spacedoutradio.com. Spaced Out Radio will take you out of this world.
Have you ever had an extraterrestrial experience? One you just couldn't explain? Well, maybe I can help. Hello, I am Samantha Mullet. On the second Tuesday of each month, I will join Dave Scott on Spaced Out Radio to bring a human aspect to ET contact. It's something I've lived with my entire life, and I'd love to help you understand. Let's share our experiences. The ET Experience, the second Tuesday of each month, only on Spaced Out Radio.
Fairies? Bigfoot? Dogmen? Trolls? Goblins? Hey, if it's cryptid in any way, I'm looking into it. Hi there, this is author Ronald Murphy, also known as Spaced Out Radio's Crypto Guru. Join me every second Wednesday of the month on Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott, where we will talk about the stories people call tall tales. I will fill you in on the latest sightings and the hidden histories that are causing quite a stir. You can find everything at spacedoutradio.com.
Hi there, this is Jolene with Rivulet Reiki and Readings, and I want you to relax. Let me help you chill out and get in touch with your body, mind, and soul. In this busy world, sometimes we need to let go, and this is where I can help. Visit my website, rivuletrndr.wix.com/rivuletrndr, or my Facebook page, Rivulet R&R, to set up an appointment for relaxation, Reiki, or readings, no matter where you are. It's time for you to make time for you.
Are you an ET experiencer, but you just don't know what's going on? Are you too timid or shy to discuss it with anyone? Maybe I can help. Join me, R. Keith Andrews, the first Friday of every month on Spaced Out Radio, and I will help you to find the answers you're looking for. Together, I will help you understand the off-worlders and the true meanings behind your experiences. All you have to do is join us in the Spaced Out Radio chat room. See you there.
Hi there, this is your psychic medium Joanna, and I would love it if you would join us every other Sunday on Spaced Out Weekend. With host James Tyson, we'll bring you personal psychic messages on two mediums and a large. Questions about love, life, career changes. We would love it if you would come and join us live. Call in and listen in for the experience. Allow us to open the doors to your other side. Two mediums and a large, heard only on Spaced Out Weekend at spacedoutradio.com.
Would you like to become one of our space travelers? All you have to do is click on the Space Travelers icon at spacedoutradio.com. For only $5 a month, you can get access to some great prizes, as well as private monthly shows, newsletters, and a members-only section on our website. Become a space traveler today.
Are you interested in advertising on Spaced Out Radio?
Head to our website at spacedoutradio.com and click on our advertising tab. There you will find an assortment of ways you can get your product out there with us.
From the radio, commercials, to banners, to social media.
Have a product you'd like our host to endorse? We can do that too.
Visit spacedoutradio.com for more details.
Spaced Out Weekend and Cosmic Passport can be heard every Saturday and Sunday night, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern Time. We're always 3 hours a night, 7 days a week. And you can listen to Spaced Out Radio Monday through Friday as well. If you would like to advertise with us, go to our website, spacedoutradio.com, click on the Advertise with Us banner, and find the package that best suits your advertising needs.
I'm back. This is Elizabeth Anglin, your host before the host, being incredibly opinionated this evening. I hope I haven't offended too many people, but somebody has to rake the muck from time to time. Otherwise, it gets weird, odd, strange things growing in it. So I was just talking to James during the commercial. And James, what was your question that you asked me? And he's not on right now, so he's annoyed with me. That's what he...
Hi, I'm here now. You always do that. I'm off doing something, and you go, and James is here. Hi, James. And I got to run across and turn things on, and it's like I'm listening to you.
I'm just like a nagging wife. Come on, James, come on. Hurry up. Turn that on.
I think
Get
you
here.
think I'm sitting beside you. But
it sounds
I'm
like
not. Okay. No, I'm back now. I'm sitting down now. I've got one sock on.
You move like a cat. I can't even hear you moving.
Yeah.
When I move around, people can hear me.
That's
it's like bang, slash. Oh, there goes something.
There goes something.
So, what was you asked me something about aliens with the government trying to be really scary to people.
Here's the thing. So you were saying that, oh no, the aliens, they'll come and abduct you, and these people are just saying, no, all the aliens are nice. But a couple of the people I've talked to about that say, yeah, the aliens are nice, except for those little grays, the Zetas, the whatever band they belong to. But they say they're the ones that were doing most of the abductions because what
about the reptilians?
I don't know if who the reptilians are.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they were saying that they were okay. Are the reptilians Sierra Romeos? Which is sorry, I went off on a police thing there for a second and almost swore, so I had to break it down. The reptilians, they're bad people then?
It depends on which reptilians they are. So my experience has been, and I've talked to a few other people who have experiences with reptilians, and then there are reptilians who, they're just kind of neutral. So, but in my first experiences, when I was coming to terms with remembering and having conscious experiences, I would see both grays. And sometimes I would see reptilians, and I would see mantis beings, and I would see the many different kinds of grays. There are different colors and the different heights, and there are white ones. And so, I mean, literally, I I have worked with a collective, which would be considered a kind of mantid Zayton gray collective, but sometimes there would be reptilians kind of coming in another picture, and then other times when I was working with Dr. Mack, I would get abducted by the Zaytons, and then the reptilians would come and try to figure out what the Zaytons were doing, because they didn't have an agreement about disclosure, which the Zaytons were trying to do through Dr. Mack. So all of these people who are saying the Zaytons are really not very nice, they were actually trying to do disclosure. Like, if we could give you any more, we would, but you guys are going to have to meet us at least halfway, and we'll give you as much we'll give you as much information as we can through these abductees, and we will make them, we will do our best to give them lots of different experiences that you can talk about and discuss, which Dr. Mack tried to do. But then somehow the reptilians were left out. So it'd be like I'd get abducted by Zaytons who were working for a disclosure. All of you guys who want to say that they're not very nice, I don't have any problems with Zaytons, even though they've abducted me and done many things to my body. I don't have major problems with that, because I know their character, I know their general mode of operation, I know that they don't mean us as human beings any harm, and I know that they were doing what they were doing for positive purposes, not for negative purposes. And I know that, quite a few of those little Zayton guys are quite sweet and can be real sweethearts. Some are kind of not really understanding emotions in the heart, and that's where we have a problem. But I'll tell you, who really doesn't understand emotions in the heart is reptilians. So, I mean, we're talking about two utilitarian societies in different ways, Zaytons and reptilians, and sometimes they don't get the heart. They don't get human love. They don't get the heart. But Zaytons tend to be, in my book, in my experience, much sweeter, and to get the heart more, and more of them understand the importance of the heart and the importance of love to human beings than the reptilians do. Sometimes when abducted by reptilians, I'd be like, wow, if I weren't conscious, I'd just be a piece of meat. Like, just a piece of meat. But since I'm conscious and I'm living and I'm drawing breath, I'm not a piece of meat. I have some value to me. So that is what I would get from the reptilians. And I think even R. Keith Andrews said that they recycled themselves. Like, if you die, you may be what's for dinner, right? Well, I definitely got that from the reptilians. If I died on a table, I'd be what's for dinner. It's not that they would mean to, it's not like they would kill me and eat me. But, when you don't have any consciousness, soul, or spirit in your body, what is it? It's a piece of meat. So that was a little odd. It was challenging to my sense of self to be confronted by beings who were really just going back and trying to go back over what the Zaytons did, that they were trying to get through in disclosure to Dr. Mack. And these were reptilians, and they were looking at me like, you're kind of a piece of meat. So that's my experience of that. But it's, it's like people will get a mass hysteria. Well, they'll say, well, the Zaytons are the bad. They're the only ones who abduct. No, reptilians abduct. I've had, and there are mantis beings, and there are tall white ones, and, you might be on a ship with multiple different kinds and different races. It depends on who is in what agreement with whom on what ships, and what your purpose is for being there. Like, why are you there? What are you working on? And or what are they working on you for? It's more complicated than just saying, well, it's just those guys who do it. Does that make sense?
Should we do something nasty to them, maybe? Or if it's like a reptilian shows up, do we put a 45 caliber thing through his forehead?
No, don't
Why?
do anything. Don't, because by and large, I mean, even from young childhood, and for the people who do get abducted, physically abducted, unless there is a grandiose mistake, they get put back alive, and they get put back in a state where they can go on living their lives, especially if they don't remember. You get problems when you remember because you get ostracized by society for remembering and talking about it, or for deciding that you want to be the person who is of service, who does disclosure. I mean, big, you're now an outsider. That is way more difficult than anything that Zetans do or anything that reptilians do. Me just having this conversation with you, going through 25 years of being a big outsider in a closet, has been way more difficult over time than ever getting abducted was.
In what way?
I didn't. It's hard to be alive and not be allowed to be yourself. And a lot of the problems we have with people not spiritually growing on this planet is because we have so many judgments and disallowances and invalidations from others about the way that people are. Oh, you're female in a male body. Well, you can't be here now. Or, oh, you didn't behave the way we expected. Well, you're not supposed to be here now. Those things start to disallow people to spiritually inhabit their bodies. People start leaving their bodies, and they stop being able to do their service work on earth. They stop being able to love themselves because they get so much judgment from outside of themselves. They think, well, I'm not worthy and deserving of love. I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to tell my story. My story is wrong. That's harder than somebody picking you up, spending an hour with you, poking you in the head, and putting you back. And that's easy. That's over. And most of the time you don't remember it. So that's just my opinion about that.
Why do some people remember and some don't?
Some people remember because they choose to, and they work hard at it. And some people are woken up because they have work to do. I was woken up because I had work to do toward disclosure. I was one in the group of humans working with Zetans who was working on disclosure, and they woke me up at the time that John Mack was coming onto the picture, and they woke me up in an experience that happened the same night as the Brooklyn Bridge, as Linda Napolitano was floated out of her house, and Perez de Cuellar was watching the exact same night. So it was a trigger for Bud Hopkins. I was in Boston. John Mack was in Boston. John Mack was becoming interested right at that time. And so they showed up at my house in the physical and didn't put me to sleep. And it scared me so much that I couldn't live being afraid. That's not about my consciousness. That's about my socialization, how much I didn't remember from my past, how much I did. I did remember that there was a boy who was killed accidentally during what appeared to be an abduction experience. When you look back at it, you go, oh yeah, that was an abduction. Oh yeah, they made a mistake. Oh yeah, he was killed. So I was frightened by the fact that they might make a mistake with me. I wasn't frightened of them per se. I just didn't want to get stuck in a wall or have a big hole in my head like this boy from my high school ended up with. Okay. And it's hard. Does that make sense? So
not at all, because you've totally dropped something on me about a boy you went to school with who was inside of a wall with a hole in his head.
No, he was left in. He was brought back from an abduction with a hole in his head, and his father was a sheriff, and he was naked on his floor with no weapon and a cauterized wound in his head. He had not been out. The doors had been locked, the windows had been locked. He was in the middle of his room on the floor with a hole in his head. There was no gun. There was no knife. He was not dead. Impale. He was big time dead. Okay. And, parents came in the morning, found him in the middle of his room, naked, dead. And now, this was a kid.
Okay. Then you said he ended up inside of a wall?
No, but if something goes wrong with their technology, the possibility is you could end up in a wall. It's like being afraid of the transporter from Star Trek. I was afraid of the transporter, so I worked really hard on remembering my experiences because I wanted to make sure the transporter was going to keep working, you know. But there was also, I was in the right place at the right time to work with Dr. Mack. So I was both, I had enough, in childhood, I had been abducted and the police had been called and families were out looking for me and another friend. We were abducted together and we had been missing and mysteriously put back exactly where we were when we went missing, with the police out looking for us. So I had enough of a background of documentation of missing time that other people noticed, even police, that I was a good research subject. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, sure. for an academic, you want to have some physicality. So, and this is what I was getting to about, you know, people doing their parts. Back in 1990, when you're trying to call attention to this and you're trying to do disclosure about it, you actually need somebody who has something physical going on in order to get an academic or to get a scientist to pay attention. So I also had a physical implant that went to MIT. Well, if there hadn't been a physical abduction and there wasn't a physical implant, you know, never mind the state of my consciousness, if those things didn't exist, there wouldn't be a pathway to as many people learning about humans and aliens in relationship with each other as there were. There wouldn't have been a conference at MIT. That John Mack might not have ever written a book if he were simply talking to people who said, oh yeah, they're all light beings. If there was nothing physical, we may not have gotten as far as we did. Okay. And you know, so it gets really sad to me personally when I hear contactees saying, oh, well, you know, it's those abductees in the state of their consciousness. It's like, you wouldn't even know. You might not even know about the aliens that are out there and your teams that are out there if those of us who had physical experiences hadn't shown up first and said, wait a minute, crap's happening to me and it has to do with aliens and it's physical and it's here right now. And no, I'm not backing down because this is physical and it's happening right now and here's my implant. Please go check it out.
Interesting.
So that is my opinion. Yeah, But in terms of scary, I mean, people get scared. I mean, that's the idea of physicality. If something is just in someone's head or if it's just a spiritual event, that's easier to deal with. Okay. But it's the same thing for the people who are abducted. You know, if it weren't physically happening, I could be in denial forever. Yeah. You know, it's like, yeah, these are just spirits. It's okay. They're not going to hurt anybody. I'm not afraid of ghosts. Are you afraid of ghosts? You afraid of light beings? Nah.
But, except when they sneak up behind you and scare you, poke you in the rib, and make you jump.
When your light being mantis friend shows up in the flesh, you're gonna jump.
Well, yeah, I probably wouldn't do any mantis friend. Paisley, what do you think of this? Paisley Town?
I just heard about the ghosts when I came back to my station with my mittens on.
Your mittens?
My typing mittens.
Oh, good.
I always tell people, hi Elizabeth, how are you doing?
Hi. Good.
I always tell people you won't really believe in a ghost until you meet one.
Yeah.
I think it goes for anything. I still have to meet an Australian. No, I've met way too many of them. I'm kidding.
But were they really Australian? Were they really, or were you just imagining it?
I met a real Australian. I met a friend of mine who's Australian, but her parents came from Croatia in the 60s. And then I met another Australian whose mother was from Greece. And then I met a girl Allison, she goes back on her father's side right to somebody who was sent to Australia in a penal colony. And of course I met Aboriginal Australians, so real Australians. They were there before it was Australia.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing I wanted to say to some people. It's like people want to organize alien abductions, and it actually is a melting pot. It's now a spiritual melting pot. So, if somebody's spiritually looking at me, they'll see Syrian and Syrian Council. And I can go back to my past lives, and you'll pick up Sirius B before it, the nova happened and supernova happened, and you'll pick up all that stuff, and it's like right there on the surface, like splat. Okay, that's obvious. But there are also Minkatans. There's also some other groups in there, places that I've been spiritually over a long period of time. And then this time I primarily work with Zetans. So what's that about? Well, it means that it's a big melting pot.
Okay.
It's not as, you can't say, well, only the Zetans are doing this, because you've got Syrians and you've got people with the Syrian Council who work with Zetans. You've got Minkatans. You've got other groups and Pleiadians. You've got people doing different things. They may have been Arcturian at one point. They may have been Syrian at one point. They may at some point be that in the future. And in this particular time, for these many years, they'll be working with reptilians or Zetans or Arcturians or somebody else. So as much as the United States or Canada is now a melting pot, or Australia is a melting pot, or this whole globalization, the same thing happens in universalization, especially over time. And so you can't just say, well, these guys are doing that and they're no good, or those guys are doing that. That's where we get back into nationalism and these old ideas of, the things that cause genocides and wars and people that do nasty things to each other.
Oh, that all stems back from my school is better than your school.
Well, my consciousness is better than your consciousness.
Well,
so,
Paisley, is your consciousness better than mine too? I think it is.
I think mine is less better than yours for sure, James.
Less better.
I was answering your question exactly.
The way that I was speaking.
And I was being facetious.
See, I was going to drag Paisley in here to talk a little bit about numerology, and we got her sucked into spatial peoples. I'm curious too, because one of the things that I have going back, and again, it's on paper, so I know it's real. It wasn't on the internet, but when my DNA came back, my father's side of the family, anyway, it only goes back 30,000 years, and I'm thinking, well, like, it's what, somebody 30,000 years ago, just south of Cairo, spliced it together. Like, where was it before that?
That's really... Well, that's in between ice ages, isn't it? Didn't we have an ice age in between there, or was the last one, did that end at 40,000? I
have no idea. Nobody's passed anything down. I didn't get a memo from somebody.
I used to know when the ice ages were, when the last one ended. I thought it was 10, but maybe it was 50. I'm sorry. I'm a bad student. But Paisley, so could you, through numerology, tell anything about, like, aliens, or, would numerology bring anything up, like a birth date, or if you don't have that worldview, you'll just miss it?
Yeah, numerology is more based on the birth information of a person. So no one has ever asked me questions about aliens through numerology. I've had lots of clients in the city where I live come and see me for live readings, and they have told me that in this particular city they've seen spaceships and seen lights and they don't want to tell anybody because they don't want to sound crazy. But I probably have had maybe 7 or 8 in the last 2 years tell me that in the last 5 years they've seen activity. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's in a city. How big is the city? Is it more than 100,000? Less?
Oh my gosh. I've only been in the city for a year, so I don't know what the exact population is. Maybe I'll Google it for you later and get back to you on that one. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah.
James, you know my city. Is my city large where I am?
Where you are right now?
Coquitlam, right?
260,000 people.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a goodly number. And that begs another question, like they don't, They will come to cities. They'll come to Boston.
Vancouver. Stand by.
Hey, we got pretty music. Or James does. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the other end.
We can. It's always fun. It must have been Joanna.
Okay.
Hi, Joanna.
Hi.
Hi, Joanna.
How are you?
Good.
You come in with a choir of angels.
I do.
Well, it's good because I just answered. We do have somebody actually on the phone waiting for us to start the two mediums and a large after the top of the hour. So I thought that person came in with a band. So that was kind of cool. So we've got people here already, and I've got somebody else I should phone. I've got a friend of mine, Shakira out of Houston, very, very interested in calling back, and I've been trying to get a hold of her all week. She had some questions about when the two mediums and a large were on. So if Shakira, if you're listening, they're on tonight. And I apologize for playing phone Skype tag with you. So that's kind of funny.
So will you kick me off? Will you kick me out if I call you in an hour and pretend to be someone else and give you all my information?
No, yeah.
Because you guys are good, but I got to think of a question. I don't have a question, so I should go and
just
let people.
Just walk in and say, "Hey, you got anything coming out?" And if other than the numerology side of things, like Paisley can do the numerology thing.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Well, what?
Alrighty.
Hold on, everybody, just stay where you are. Because we came in a little bit late. We came in at about a minute after the hour. So why not throw our intro on now? And while the intro is playing to everyone out there, I will get us all together here, and we can give some numbers to Paisley and get her all ready to go when we start up. Sound good, Elizabeth?
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. I like it.
Oh, I like it too. So, well, thanks very much, Elizabeth. It's been nice.
Yeah. And do I get to stay on, or are you kicking me off?
No, I'm not kicking you off. I'm just saying it was nice to hear Cosmic Passport and you being that host before the host, which is me.
Yes, that's it. I'm Elizabeth Anglin, and I will now say, if you want to know more about me, go to ElizabethAnglin.com, and you probably don't. But I want to ask questions of the mediums, because I really like them. To there. Yes.
It's time to go live on Spaced Out Weekend.
13, please. Oh, hi, Kevin. Oh, is that the time? Kevin, my friend, don't you find that watch just a little bit loud? Well, I certainly hope our buddy Bumblefoot is playing when we get there. Oh, you stinky big bundle of hair. I said Bumblefoot, not Bigfoot. Oh, it's going to be a long night.
It's time to head to the 13th floor of the old log cabin for Spaced Out Weekend with James Tyson. You can tweet James at James Tyson SOR. You can find him on Instagram, Spaced Out Weekend, as well as on Facebook. On YouTube, our channel is Spaced Out Radio Show, and you can check out our website, spacedoutradio.com.
Little brother has taken control, shoveling dirt in every hole. Predators to condemn your soul, watching you and watching me. We're all connected but separated, misunderstood and so frustrated. A million armies of one have invaded, watching you and watching me. We live behind glass curtains and act like nothing's wrong. Soon you will belong. I know you're out there somewhere. We've watched you for so long. Wait for you to fall. We'll expose you all. I know you're out there somewhere. Watch it there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
And now, perched high in his captain's chair, way above the clouds, here's James Tyson.
Welcome, everyone, to Spaced Out Weekend. It is I, James Tyson, yes, sitting in my little log cabin on the top of the 13th floor of the Spaced Out Radio Network. I had been talking to Elizabeth Anglin, the host before the host, and we're talking about alien abductions and stuff like that. We are broadcasting from the paranormal portals of the lower left Canadian coast, and it is I'm only talking like this because I hear a little bit of an echo, so I'm kind of just playing with my own words, and it sounds really cool to me. To you, it probably doesn't sound cool at all. But welcome to another chilling episode of Two Mediums and Joseph. No, hold on. Two Mediums and a Large. And we have Joseph, who is called in. You know young Joseph from the chat room, which is kind of scary to start with. And he's just a baby. Hold on. I'm going to add another caller here to the group call. And hold on. I've got a feedback. I'm going to the phone lines, and that was a feedback and a half. Okay, now we've got various people in chat. We have Joseph and somebody calling in from a 484 area code. And if you would just hold on briefly, I'm going to let Paisley take a run at Joseph, so to speak.
Wow, that's a nice thing to say.
Actually, before you do that, you can take a run at Joseph. I know that was unfortunate wordage. Tonight, I've got our wonderful friends Paisley Town, and we have Joanna, which is really, really cool. Joanna, are you here?
Oh, I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, good. I can hear myself muffled in the background. Joanna is inspired to share and educate and enlighten those who desire to understand. I got to turn their system off here because it's driving me nuts, which is a short drive, actually. She's inspired to share, educate, and enlighten those who desire to understand the ascension, universal laws, and the greater universal family that humanity is now awakening to. Joanna inspires and teaches the elegance of preparing for an expansive entanglement. You know, that's the wrong Joanna. That was Joanna from last night. I know, it was. Oh, so Spaced Out Weekend welcomes back Joanna, the medium who is an evidential spiritual medium. Hold on, I got to turn you right off. Registered professional counselor and registered clinical counseling hypnotherapist. Joanna is a regular person and a soccer mom with normal joys and challenges of life. She just happens to have a gift that seems to come naturally. Joanna's mediumship ability is an amazing gift that revealed itself while she was going through her own life challenges and while working with clients in her private practice at Vancouver Counseling and Hypnotherapy. Although it took Joanna a while to fully embrace and trust this amazing gift, her responsibility lies in acknowledging that what comes naturally to her is in fact a calling to serve as a messenger for the spirit world and you. And we also feature young Paisley Town. Paisley is an intuitive psychic, a psychometry, tarot, and numerology type person, and a teacher. Growing up in Southern Ontario, she's always felt various unexplainable tugs and an affinity for stones, shells, crystals, and other inert forms that nonetheless teemed with life and structure. And it was in the mid-90s no, she's not that old. In her mid-90s, it was in the mid-90s that she was drawn to begin her metaphysical training. Now, both Paisley and Joanna don't live that far from me, and I love them, and I welcome them back to Spaced Out Weekends because they are the two mediums, and I be the large. So thank you very much, ladies.
Thanks for inviting us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Inviting you. I only let you out every 2 weeks.
We barged right in.
Yeah. All right. So you can not take a run at Joseph. He's
okay, Joseph,
baby.
go for it.
Okay,
Joseph,
I'm still here.
I've got your birthday, Joseph. You said, is it April 28th, 2001?
Yeah.
And Joseph, there's just the regular spelling like Joseph.
Yes.
Okay, did you have a question for me?
Yeah, I was wondering, I am the head of the Forest Moon Paranormal's media team, so I'm running the YouTube channel, and the main thing I've been wanting to figure out is, are we going to expand on Facebook? Our groups are expanding, but I'm a little bit worried about the YouTube channel. I'm not sure about that one.
And what's the name of your channel?
Forest Moon Paranormal.
Okay.
Joseph, you're 15?
Yes.
You certainly don't sound 15.
I am.
I'm sure you've been told that before.
Yes, I have.
So I'm just going to check in with Spirit for a second. Joanna, do you have your cards with you this evening?
I do.
This might be a better question for Joanna because with the information from your birthday, Joseph, what I can do is give you information about you, and your question is more about your project that you're working on. So I'm going to just see if Joanna has a bit of insight for you first.
First and foremost, Joseph, how do you connect with number 14, or do you?
14.
Yes.
It was the year of many different life-changing events. 2014.
As in 2014? That could be, it was shown to me as number 14, not 2014, but just put that aside because typically these things will make sense to you down the road. Now, when I tune into energy, first and foremost, I get a sensation at the back of my head. And when I ask my guide what this means, he's saying to me the word decisions. And pertaining to what you just asked, and the question was, is this channel going to go forward and grow? Is that the question?
Yes.
Okay, what I'm being shown a path, and there's a slight veer in the path, meaning there is going to be a slight change of direction before the channel, quote unquote, explodes. And this change of situation has to do with the team or a person or persons that are part of this project. Now, he's also saying to me that you already have an idea that this has to take place. However, because it's shown to me in the back of your head, it tells me that you are still in a process of thinking or deciphering what that is, and the decision has not been made yet. Does that make any sense to you?
It does.
Okay. Now, don't be afraid of the changes. And I just got chills, and I also felt a little bit uncomfortable as I said the word change, because I feel it might feel a little bit daunting. It may also feel like you're taking a step backwards. But he's saying to me the changes that you are looking are necessary at this point. Otherwise, the project is not going to go ahead the way you want to see it. And I also saw number 8. 8 to me is a very powerful number. It also is a number of abundance. Do you connect with the number 8 at all?
Joanna, when I add his birthday together, 4, 1, and 3, it's an 8.
Okay, so that's you're the leader. So if you do not connect with number 8, other than what was just said, just kind of leave it in the background. You are a leader, and it's obvious in your voice too. But also, you may be looking at these changes in or around the month of July/August.
Okay.
Because they're coming up fairly shortly. Does any of this make sense?
It does.
Okay. Why do I feel almost nauseous when I talk about these changes? Is this something that you're afraid of?
Change necessarily, while it could be good, also could be drastically bad. And being that I have done YouTube projects before, I have seen that change in the way you do something could ultimately lead to the downfall of the project.
Mm-hmm. Which is why he's bringing this up. But he's bringing this up also, and it's in your awareness already, so you already have an idea that something has to be done. You understand this? Okay. You do know Polish as well, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. Were you born in Poland?
No.
Do you have any awareness of where your parents are as far as Poland at all?
Yeah.
Geographically speaking, is Krakow anywhere close to where they're from?
Yeah, where my dad's side of the family is from as well. As well as I do reside in Eastern Russia.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
So, there you go.
Does that help you?
It does.
It does. Okay. Do you have any more questions that you want to ask about this?
Yeah, and I was wondering if it was possible to find out as I'm doing this work. Mm-hmm. I believe I've been trying to be in communication with a dead relative. Is it possible to check on that? Who would be my grandfather on my dad's side?
I was picking up a grandmother, but sure, let me just give you a second. Also, before I go there, I am constantly being shown the sign of money around you. So this, I don't know what this means because I don't interpret, but this project also, or your worry, has something to do with finances. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. He keeps saying to you not to worry, but whatever changes need to be implemented, it's inevitable.
Yeah, that makes
inevitable. Sense. Okay. What is your grandfather's first name, please?
Yash, Y-A-S-H.
Yash, as in Yashu?
It was the name
Russian?
that was, it's Polish Russian, and then that's my nickname that I'm called.
When I ask for this energy to come forward, the very first thing I hear is army boots. Was your grandfather in the army?
On my mom's side, yeah, but my dad, no. He wanted to be in the Marines, but didn't pass.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm also being shown the number 24. Do you connect the number 24 with him at all?
Not really, no.
Okay, a letter M as in mother. Is there a letter M in his first or last name in any order? Or middle name?
No.
No. I don't know if I can get him for you, love. At this point, I'm not seeing, I'm hearing this. Okay, he passed a while ago, quite a while ago, long time ago, as in long time ago?
Upwards of 35 years ago.
That's a long time. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Okay. Would you know if this gentleman ever smoked? I mean, that's a dumb question because they all smoked, actually. Okay, because I have somebody in front of me. This is a young gentleman. He's shown to me being quite young. And he is... he's given me a motion of kissing a cross. To me, when I see this, it is someone who was very faithful to, quote unquote, God, or quite religious himself. Does that mean anything to you regarding him, or would you know?
Yeah, he was a Christian, yes.
Okay. Also, would you know if he had any issues with a left foot, particularly around the ankle? Because he's talking about a left foot, and he's showing me his ankle. He's actually pulling up his pant, and he's showing me his ankle. He's pointing at his ankle.
I'm not sure, but I connect that my dad
had
broken his ankle, but I'm not too sure. But I don't think so. Anything.
Do you have a question for him? Because I'm just going to ask directly the question. If this is him, he's going to answer you. Otherwise, because I don't feel confident this is him, and he's not giving you enough information to validate this. Mind you, he's passed a long time ago, so there's not too many. Do you have a specific question?
Was that if the time comes, will I be able to protect my family via either someone breaking in or
the answer is yes already. The answer is yes already. Also, he's saying to me that he has come to you in dreams. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so she just gave me chills. Holy shit! Excuse my French. Oh my god!
Bonjour, ça va?
Just gave me a jolt. Oof. He's showing me himself smoking. Okay. Yes, you will be able to protect them. Also, there is something about you being very worried about your mother. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to ask him what this. Okay, he's showing me a wedding band. Wedding band typically talks about commitment, but when he is showing me this band, he's saying to me the worry or there is some issue around a wedding band, marriage, or commitment. Does that make anything sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. He says, please don't worry. But when he says this, I know it's going to fall on deaf ears because you naturally are very protective of your mother. I feel like he visits you in dreams quite a bit, and he's actually showing me himself right behind you, which tells me he's very close to you. I would actually be shocked if you told me that you don't have moments where you feel there's somebody standing next to you or behind you.
Oh, yeah. There definitely is moments where there's no one here and there are people around.
Also, he just showed me a dog. Is there a dog that you're aware of on the other side?
Yes. My dog passed
he's got the dog.
a few years ago.
Okay, he's got the dog. He's also pointing. He's not talking to me. He's motioning. He's pointing. What are you saying, sweetie? He keeps saying to you, listen to your heart, and he points at your head, and he says, because you're so analytical, you have difficulty going down to your heart. You understand this, yes?
Not really.
Okay, I'm going to ask you for clarification. He says you get confused. You go to your heart, but then you go to your head.
Yeah.
He says you overanalyze things.
Oh, definitely.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Also, and I'm just going to say this quickly, he says you have a lot of talent you're not putting out. Now, based on what you just told us, I'm thinking, are you serious? Because it sounds like you're quite talented, but his head is going back and forth, and he's saying there is more, but I feel like you're holding it back. So I'm just going to say that as you mature, you are 15 after all, there's going to be a lot more coming out of you. And he does say the word confidence, and I don't sense that you're not confident, but you're going to become even more so as you progress forward.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Also, do talk to him because he can hear you. And I also feel that you can get information back from him intuitively. But again, because you go back to your head, sometimes you're not sure.
Yeah. So how might I get in contact with him?
Just talk to him like I'm talking to you, except do it out loud or in your mind. Just like that.
Okay.
Just like that. They can hear you. Yeah. Obviously, in meditation is much more productive because you can often hear them or feel the information coming back to you much more clearly. But just like I'm talking to you, just like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for calling, Joseph.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Now, we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the line. The order is going to be Tampa, then to Pennsylvania, then Laura, and then in Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. That's our order. And I just want to, for our readers' sake, last week we got hit really hard, and a lot of people who want readings from Joanna and Paisley we're kind of thinking that this was a full reading, and they do this kind of thing for a living. So if you want a full reading, you can get a hold of Joanna at joannathamedium.com, or if you are interested in numerology or anything that Paisley does, you can get a hold of her at paisleytown.com and go from there. But we're going to keep these short, hopefully just like one question, possibly a follow-up, maybe, depending how busy we are, because I don't want to leave you hanging long distance for that much longer. So we're going to go to our friend in Tampa. Hi, who's this?
Hi, my name is Cheryl.
Cheryl?
Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl.
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Good.
This is my first time calling, actually listening to the program.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Well,
I was.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was saying I was on YouTube searching for something else, and I saw Miss Joanna the medium, and just a picture on the side, and I was caught by her, and I said, well, let me just see what this video is about. And so I clicked on the video, and it was very interesting. And I said, And so I went to her YouTube site, and I listened. I'm a Cancer sign, and July 3rd, actually. And then I went to her website. So I thought it was very interesting. And she was very accurate.
It's so scary, isn't it?
Yeah, so I wanted to say, she was very accurate. But I noticed that her cards were very, the cards she was using, it's like I could feel the energy from her cards.
Wow.
It was very weird. So I said, that's very interesting. What is that all about? But I have a question, though.
You don't?
I do have a question.
Oh, you do? Fire away.
Yes, I do. Well, in 2009, I had a very weird experience. I guess people would call it weird. I don't tell very many people about it, but then it was like, maybe Miss Joanna can assist or at least shine some light on what happened.
Sure.
I was talking to a gentleman in 2009, and it was a weird, strange thing. I'll make it very short and sweet. But as I was talking to him, his pupils began to get really, really large, and I thought it was strange because he was facing the sun and I was not. And I said, wow, what's going on? And so as I was listening to him talk, it's like I looked past his eyes, and I began to see certain things, and it was just very weird to me, and that's the first time that it ever happened, and I was saying, oh my goodness, well, what's going on? But as it comes to find out, the things that I saw, I won't go into details because it sounds really nutty, but I won't, but the bottom line is, the question I have is that just something that just is just a freak event, or what was that? Okay. And I know it sounds I'm just speaking in like hodgepodge, whatever, but I don't want to go in too much detail over the phone because people think I'm nuts, and I just don't want to think that. I don't want people to think that.
Sweetie, I talk to dead people. There's nothing more nutty than that, so you're good. You're good. Okay, first and foremost, as you were listening to, I was listening to you. I picked up a card, and the card is called Truth. Bottom line, when I asked my guide what this card says, he said to me, "You tapped into an aspect of you were never aware of." Meaning, all of a sudden, you became almost like an X-ray, and you were able to see right through this gentleman and into his soul. And he's saying to me, this is something that freaked you out because it's been dormant for most of your life. But he does show me that when you were a little girl, you were actually quite aware of things that were not perceived by most people. Do you have any awareness of that or memory?
Actually, yes, I do. Okay. I have a memory of being placed in my mother's womb before I was born. Mm-hmm. Now that I don't tell very many people because I love it.
I love it.
So. And I always wondered, but I told my mother, I shared that with my mother, and my mother she wasn't really, set aback by that. She wasn't surprised, but at the same time, she just stared off because she said, I can remember that particular, because I described that day and what she was doing and where she was going and the people she was with, and she had... I don't know if that was terror or surprise that was on her face, but she said that's very strange or odd because she said at that very moment that I had described to her, she said she had a deja vu moment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As you're talking about this, my guy has a huge smile on his face. He's actually laughing, and I'm saying, why are you laughing? And he's saying to me, your third eye chakra completely opened up at that moment. But it wasn't just because of a coincidence. It was something to do with this gentleman. And he's saying to me that this gentleman and you have crossed paths in a different reincarnation. Now, whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. I always say, just put it in the garbage if it makes no sense. But there is something about But there is some, and he says you felt it in your gut, but there is something about him and you in that particular instance that triggered let's say, memory of your spirit. Is that the right word? Your capabilities of your spirit when you were actually able to really zoom in to who he was beyond the flesh. And he says to me, you've always had that. You do have it. Whether you choose to open it up and explore it is completely up to you. But he's showing me it's in your hands. Now, by any chance, have you had interest lately to either purchase tarot cards, divination cards, or has that crossed your mind? I promise I don't read minds.
Yes, but I was saying, I don't know anything about those. That's why I found Joanna's video very intriguing. I don't know about tarot cards. What is this? But
because I don't read cards. It looks like I do, and I say it often on my videos. I do not know how to read cards. I'm absolutely clueless. As a matter of fact, the only reason why I do cards is because doing full-on channel is weird at this point, and I don't feel comfortable being on a camera and doing full-on channel. So the only way I was able to go on there when Spirit said go on YouTube, I said, what am I supposed to do? They said read cards, and when I said I don't know how to read cards, they said pick a spread, we'll tell you what to say, and that's what I do every single time. Now, as the time goes on, I get to learn a little bit of a meaning of a card, but a card reader will look at the card I have and they'll say she's nuts. I am listening completely to what my guide is saying, so I actually don't read cards. So the message here is that if you choose to pursue this further, it's within your grasp. I also do see that there will be material and books and people that will come your way if you choose to open this up. But there is a little bit of trepidation on your part, and I don't know if this is to do with your background or a certain set of beliefs, but there is a bit of a trepidation.
Yeah, there is, because
and that's okay.
My concern was, I don't talk to, and I don't mean it in the wrong way, because some people do, but it's like, I don't want to talk to dead people. That's always been my deal, but.
Are you afraid? Are you afraid?
Well, it's uncharted territory. I don't know what.
That's a fear. Yeah.
It's not like nobody trained me, but it's weird. I can, be talking to people and I can just see and hear, what's going on with them.
Exactly.
If I touch them, I really can feel like what's going on with their body, if they're sick or.
That's what he said. You have like an X-ray vision. And that's I haven't come across that too often. So that is a gift, girl. That's a gift. Yeah.
That's.
See, I didn't know if I should not be friends with this person, because I really like him. He's a nice person. I, as you say, see through him, but I was just like, I didn't know if it was just me or him or just. I didn't know. So okay.
It was a set of circumstances, call it, alignment of whatever. The ability that you have gives you a great quote unquote advantage of being able to see the people you are connecting to, and you can choose to pursue or not pursue based on what you're perceiving. A lot of people don't listen to intuition, so they'll just kind of go with whatever. But you having, what he said, an X-ray vision gives you a huge advantage. You have kids?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Okay, because I was going to say try it with your kids. Try it with your family. With family might be a little bit tricky, because once we're connected emotionally, it's a little bit trickier. But as far as the dead talking people concept, he's saying to me, you do not have to venture in that particular area if you don't want to. You don't have to do anything of this. But the gift is right there, and it's ready for your taking if you choose to and however you choose to. When I started this years ago, this is what I said to Spirit. I said, said, okay, if you want me to do this, I want to make sure that you give me information that's not going to scare me or my client. And it's never, ever, ever happened. Because it's a two-way street. You're not just a puppet.
All right, that was a concern too.
You can set the rules.
Absolutely.
All righty.
Okay.
I hope it was helpful.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure. You're welcome, love.
Okay. Have a good night and have a wonderful week.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to have to take a break right now, and I apologize for Laura and the person from Burnaby, British Columbia, and the person in Pennsylvania, but I do have to take a 4-minute break, and we'll be right back with Joanna and Paisley Town. So remember, please, remember Paisley is here. She does really good numerology readings.
People love her.
Yeah, I love her. We'll be right back with more from our two mediums right after this.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott, and I would like to invite you to listen Monday through Friday right here on Spaced Out Radio. 3 hours a night of the top stories with the top guests, ranging topics from UFOs to ETs, ghosts to Sasquatch, and everything in between. We are live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. So come on in and take a listen at spacedoutradio.com. Spaced Out Radio will take you out of this world.
Would you like to become one of our space travelers? All you have to do is click on the Space Travelers icon at spacedoutradio.com. For only $5 a month, you can get access to some great prizes, as well as private monthly shows, newsletters, and a members-only section on our website. Become a space traveler today.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Hi there, this is Elizabeth Anglin, and on the last Monday of every month, I join Dave Scott for Spaced Out Radio's Cosmic Passport. We delve into everything from extraterrestrial contact to animal communication. It's a lot of fun, and every month it's something different and exciting. I would love it if you would join us. You can hear and learn from my experiences, and I'd like to know about yours as well. Cosmic Passport on spacedoutradio.com.
Fairies, Bigfoot, dogmen, trolls, goblins? Hey, if it's cryptid in any way, I'm looking into it. Hi there, this is author Ronald Murphy, also known as Spaced Out Radio's Crypto Guru. Join me every second Wednesday of the month on Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott, where we will talk about the stories people call tall tales. I will fill you in on the latest sightings and the hidden histories that are causing quite a stir. You can find everything at spacedoutradio.com.
Hi there, this is your medium Joanna from Spaced Out Weekend, 2 mediums and a large. I would love it if you would come and join us with host James Tyson every other Sunday on Spaced Out Weekend. Together, we will take your calls and your questions live. Our goal is to provide you with a positive outlook on deep questions that you may have. Questions regarding love, relationships, money, or whatever else is on your mind. Come and check us out at spacedoutradio.com.
Is the 24-hour world starting to wear you down? Let me from Rivulet Reiki and Ratings lend you a hand. Hi, this is Jolene, and if you're in need of Reiki or a room reading, come to my website, rivuletrr.wix.com/rivuletrr, and let us help you out. At Rivulet, I specialize in healing your body, mind, and soul, no matter where you are. And be sure to check out the Rivulet R&R Facebook page for your best deals. Remember, it's time for you to make some time for you.
Find yourself constantly looking up in the sky, looking for answers? Have you had extraterrestrial contact? Are you an abductee? Looking for answers to your experiences? Hi there, I'm R. Keith Andrews, Spaced Out Radio's resident ET expert. Join me live the first Friday of every month where I take questions from the Spaced Out Radio chat room and help you understand those from the far-off world. It's 2 hours of knowledge every experiencer should listen to. Hope to see you there.
Spaced Out Weekend with James Tyson can be found at spacedoutradio.com. Head to our website where you can join the Space Travelers and sign up for your new membership. You can also follow James on Twitter at James Tyson SOR. Now, back to our paranormal guru, James Tyson.
Welcome back, everybody, to Two Mediums and me. The large. Two Mediums and a large. We have Joanna Banca. You can look her up at joannathemedium.com. joannathemedium.com, and Paisley Town numerologist, and much, much more. I've actually got to get down to her shop and get some more crystals because I have a tendency of giving them away. PaisleyTown.com, and we're back. And who is first here? It's Eric. How the dickens are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Okay, since you've been through this system before and you've already had Paisley tell you all the bad things about you, and you know those, we'll open up to Joanna.
All right. Hey, Joanna. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to see if you could give me any guidance on the situation I have. I live with my younger brother now. He moved out to California with me a couple months ago, and it started off awesome, and he has issues with depression, so recently it's been really rough because he doesn't have insurance, so he hasn't been able to get his medication. He's getting it soon, but it's been like 2 months of just like really tough for him and for me living with him because I care about him so much, and he's going through a rough time, but also as a roommate, like he's not doing anything to help out around the apartment, and so, but he won't ever open up or talk about anything, and he gets pissed at me if I try and bring anything up, so it's just like a real tough situation.
Yeah. So what is is there a specific question?
I guess, what can I do in this situation? Like, what's the right thing for me to do? How can I handle this better? And if you see anything that he can do, you know?
Okay. Do you, incidentally, I was shuffling cards and a card just flew out and it's called Trapped in Fear. And this is to do with the mental component of who we are. Has he ever discussed with you, or does he have any awareness of why he feels the way he does? Was he ever able to pinpoint where this is coming from?
Not really, because he doesn't ever open up. Like, if you try and talk to him, his defenses, he gets really mad and kind of shuts down the conversation.
Okay. Are you comfortable with giving me his first name, or you'd rather not?
It's fine. Chris.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so right off the bat, first of all, what I got right off the bat was that there is, and I think this came up with you before, there's some unresolved issues with the father figure. And I have a feeling this came up with you before, did it not?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
And I just got chills all over me. That's always my confirmation. Would that make any sense to you?
Not really. I mean, I don't know what that issue would be.
Okay, and keep in mind, when someone has feelings around a certain individual, it does not mean that the individual is a bad person. It is all about perception, how an individual felt regarding a specific person. And the word I keep hearing is neglect. Now, I'm not saying that your brother, or you for that matter, were neglected, but there is some component of his perception around neglect, and this is emotional neglect. So, was your dad emotionally available when you guys were growing up?
Yes, but it's not like we really talked about emotional stuff a lot. It was more like sports.
Okay, so what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? Result-oriented, yes? Results-oriented stuff. Right? Correct?
What's that mean?
James, how would you describe that? Results-oriented.
Like, are you saying that the father was interested in result oriented
conversation,
sports. Sports.
Performance.
Also, yeah. Okay, was he kind of a? It'd be kind of a. We call them hockey mums up here, or hockey dads, but whatever you were involved in, he'd be the one on the sidelines yelling the loudest.
No, he was never. I mean, he went to all our games and stuff, but he was never like that person.
There's an emotional component here that seems to be not missing, but perceived to be missing as far as closeness. And I'm trying to see how I can put this into words. What my God is saying that Chris is quote unquote suffering with. I can't believe I'm going to say this. And please, whatever I say, don't believe. You got to research this stuff and you got to talk to him. But there's something about him feeling emotionally neglected. That doesn't mean your dad was neglectful. It just means that your brother perceived himself or perceived your dad to not emotionally be there. And as a result, he developed a really severe sense of insecurity.
Okay.
And lack of confidence, which is, I guess, very similar, one and the same. So, have you ever had a conversation with him regarding your relationship, both of you guys' relationship with dad or father figure, whatever the circumstances were?
Conversation with my brother?
Yes.
No.
And I'm also sensing this is in his gut. He carries a lot of stuff, and I hear the word resentment in his gut. The thing is that I do not feel that he's aware of where it's coming from. So counseling for him would be very beneficial. But again, I don't feel this is where his head is at this point. Has he gone through counseling, or has he tried, or have you guys tried?
He has, I don't know, maybe a year or so. He was seeing someone for a little bit, but it's never been something that he was like really about.
Yeah, the problem is he wasn't into it, and when someone is not into it, they're not going to open up. If you can't open up, then it's useless, absolutely useless, because it's just.
Well, that's the problem is he doesn't open up. I mean, I can't even like bring stuff up with him because he gets mad. He just shuts it down in one way or another.
Okay, I'm going to ask my guide what you can do in this for him.
Thank you.
Interestingly enough, you are his emotional support, but I guess you already know that since you are residing together. There is also a feeling from you of this need to protect him. Do you feel that?
Yes.
Yes. This is because, and this is going to sound really weird, Eric, but I talk to dead people, so this is weird in itself. In a previous lifetime, you were his parent, okay? And the two of you had a life for the most part by yourself, and because of circumstances, the two of you relied on each other. Now, he's not opening it up and showing me what that is as far as what happened over there, but that need of yours to want to protect him is very much stemming from that lifetime. So your biggest thing with him is to support him emotionally as much as you can. Now you're going to ask how, so I'm going to go ask my guide. The biggest thing with him, he needs to know that he is okay. For some reason, he seems to feel that he is not. Whether he actually verbalizes this or it is through his actions, the biggest thing you can instill with him and keep pounding in his head is making him feel and letting him know that he is absolutely okay in every way, shape, or form, because that is not how he feels. As a matter of fact, I get a vision of someone who is sitting and crouched, and he's very much into himself, and he doesn't even want to open up. That's how much emotional pain he's feeling inside. But I don't feel he's able to actually verbalize this.
Yeah, he's not. He never does. That's why I feel like, how can I help him? He doesn't help himself or let me help or...
How old is he, may I ask?
20...
27, 28? Okay. And he's not in a relationship right now, right?
No.
No, yeah. You guys don't have a dog, do you?
No.
I don't know why I'm being shown this, but animals would be extremely helpful for him.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever had a dog, if you ever wanted a dog, but there's something about animals, dogs in particular, that would help him. Because with animals, he can feel like he can be himself. With another person, it's just too difficult for him to open up. Also, you did say that he's waiting for medication. My guide is showing me that he needs to be on some kind of stabilizing medication, whether it's mood stabilizing or something to do with a chemical imbalance or a little bit of a chemical. Doesn't mean that he's sick. It just there's a chemical imbalance of some sort. Okay, this is nothing serious, but the word depression is circling around him. I still feel that counseling would prove to be very beneficial for him. Having said that, I feel a female would be much more suited to him than a male. Was the last one male?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Okay.
I don't think it lasted too long.
No, because he didn't want to open up. He thought it was just, I'll go there, I'll talk, whatever they want me to say, I'll say. But there was zero interest in him wanting to open up. Zero.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that will continue for a little bit. He's not showing me how long, but he's just not interested right now to talking about anything to anyone.
He never is. That's the thing.
Yeah, there is a bit of feeling like, this is how I feel, and I'm committed to feeling this way. So it's very hard because part of him wants to stay stuck in it for whatever reason. And again, I hear the word resentment. So there's obviously feelings of resentment towards somebody. But he's committed to wanting to feel that way. When we do that is because for the most part, we want to stay angry. If we choose to open up and work on it, then we no longer feel angry. So there is a need for him to still feel angry about something or someone. See, I hear the word dad. Yeah. Now, keep in mind,
I think it might be.
Go ahead.
I think it might be towards me too, but I don't really know, or I don't know why it would be, but it seems like it is.
Your brother also feels, what's the word I'm looking for? Not good enough is, that's one way, but there's another way I want to say this. He feels like an odd shoe. That's the best way that's the best analogy that came to me. He feels like an odd shoe. Also, you probably already know this, but he compares himself to you. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume he does.
Yeah, he does.
I wish he wouldn't.
You can't help it. It's just you guys' relationship, and it's the path he has chosen to experience. That's why it's so important for you to instill in him that he is absolutely okay in every way, shape, or form, and just keep telling him that he is okay, he's good, he's talented, whatever you can say to how to kind of build him up a little bit, because not only does he look up to you, but he compares himself to you. The comparison is not, my brother does this, I can do this. He looks at you and then he goes, ugh. He feels down on himself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing, though, is like, I hear what you're saying, build him up, tell him he's okay, but like, he's really not, though. The past 2 days, literally, he wakes up at like 1 p.m., lays on the couch, and watches TV all day. He's been watching TV for like 9 hours today.
Because he has no desire. There's the fire that usually keeps us going. It's not there. He just doesn't give a shit. Excuse my French.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I can.
And when I say instill in him that he's okay, I'm not saying that you should tell him what he does you approve of, but saying that he's okay as a human being, instilling that in him, that's what's important. You can still instill that in someone and letting them know that some actions that they do are just simply not appropriate, but they're two different things. You can be empowering, but also disagree with choices at the same time. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
James, do you want to does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. It is one of those things. This is a very hard one, and This would be like an hour and a half or more conversation with Chris, or your brother Eric, and somebody else. This is a pretty heavy one, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And serious. It is an actual very serious one because when you're under a lot of stress or just kind of giving up, that's when you just sleep, because sleep is an escape.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Does he work?
Yeah, he works with me at the place I work.
Okay.
So it's like when he's at work, he's better, or he hides it more, but then it's like after work, on the couch, or weekends, do nothing.
Well, I would suggest that I know this is take it for what it's worth and try to fit it into your schedule, but fit him in with the stuff you do after work, or actually plan on doing stuff with him. And I don't mean like go to a movie or something, because that's just sitting in the dark with your brain turned off. Go for a drive. Go see something you haven't seen before.
Eric, Paisley just asked you to email her, and James can give you that information because she has some information for you, but she says she doesn't want to open it up on air.
Okay.
So email her. James, you can give him that info or type it up.
What?
Paisley, Paisley, you can give him the info.
Yeah. Sure. It's my email address, Eric, is paisley@paisleytown.com. And it's on my website. If you type in paisleytown.com, you'll find all the information there.
Okay, you said it's Paisley at Paisleytown?
Yep.
And it's P-A, you spell it, Paisley.
Yeah, it's Paisley. And the last name is Town, Town. People think it's a company, but it's my name, so.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Best of luck, Eric.
All right, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Take care.
Thank you, Eric. Take care. Keep in touch, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to our Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada caller here. Sorry for keeping you on hold for such a long time.
Oh, that's right.
Is this Susan or Sabrina?
Sabrina.
It's Sabrina.
Hi, Sabrina. So on the commercial break, I got your birthday. This is Paisley. And did you have a question for us?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you can see kind of what's going on with my job situation here. If I'll be going back full-time, part-time, or what's going on.
Okay. Have you been really clear, Sabrina, about what it is that you want to have happen with your work? I'm going to say no, you haven't been clear.
I've been clear, if you want to call it, to the universe.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like for some reason, Spirit's giving me information that they're getting mixed messages from you in a way, if that makes sense. I feel like you're ready for a change. Is the position that you have been in previously, is this something that's not challenging enough for you?
I think it was fine. It was fine.
Okay.
It was fine. I just ended up with another injury.
Okay. You're very intuitive yourself. So do you get to work as a partnership when you have this position? Do you work and partner with people and work independently?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And are you doing something where you're helping and healing other people?
Yeah, I guess in a way you could say that. I work with special needs children. So
perfect. Absolutely. I just feel like there's something about you being unclear about what's going on. Are you not wanting to go back because of your injury?
I'm dealing with WCB, and then after I'm dealing with ICBC.
Okay.
It seems like every 4 to 5 years something happens that throws me off.
Okay. And so I guess I want to say, can you be more clear in your question to me, what your question is? Are you wanting to take your old previous position back, and that's what you're asking about?
Well, my old position, because I've been off work just over a year, I don't have that one anymore.
Okay.
So when I go back, they're going to have to find me a position. I just don't know if it's going to be full-time, part-time, where, or anything.
Okay. I want to say just stay very focused and clear on what it is exactly that you want. So if you're wanting full-time so you can have lots of benefits, so you can have lots of medical coverage, like stay focused on that full-time information, because you're intuitive yourself, and I feel like there's some part of you that is in a way questioning yourself or doubting yourself. Does that make sense for you?
What do you mean, like questioning myself with my job, or?
Yes, with work, yeah. About something about questioning about going back, or questioning what you should be doing. Like, it's not just...
Yeah, there is. Like, I mean, I got, I have to financially go back. The injuries I've received, I'm scared of that that position. I don't know if I should try to change into a different position, if I can.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's where maybe the unclarity is coming from. When you're working with special needs, are you working as a team with like one-on-one with someone?
Usually it's one-on-one, like me with one child or me with a few children. So
a small group.
Yeah, it's usually usually it is. Yeah, okay. Usually by myself.
Okay, I'm just going to give you a little bit of explanation about your birthday and your name and how that all kind of meshes together, and hopefully this will make sense for you. But being born in February and being born with the name Sabrina as your birth name, these two numbers are considered to be fire numbers. So this tells me you like to be challenged, you like to be busy, you like to be engaged, you like to be social. So I'd say being off work, oh my gosh, it doesn't work well for you to be off work, if that makes sense. But obviously you're at home convalescing and, recuperating and getting better and so on. So you can't be at work. But I'd say it's really important for you to always have a big challenge going on, because the more you do, the more you can get done. Does that make sense for you? You're a multitasker.
Yes.
Okay. So when I look at the rest of the numbers in your birthday, being born on the 25th and being born in 65, these numbers indicate to me that you want to do the right thing. You want to take responsibility. You're very scientific and very intellectual and logical in the way that you perceive things. So sometimes you analyze things too much. And that what happens with being born in February and being born on the 25th, these two numbers kind of conflict with each other a little bit. So it's almost like you know what you want to do and you know you want to do the right thing, and then you doubt yourself and question yourself. Does that kind of make sense to you a little bit when I'm speaking about it this way?
Yes.
Okay. The other number that comes up is being born in 65, and when I add your birthday numbers together, these numbers are considered to be air numbers. So the 25th of February is a water number. And I'm not talking about astrology, I'm talking about the numerology of the actual numbers. So the air numbers that are being presented tell me that because of your age, you're actually shifting from water into air over the next 5 or 10 years. And so you're going to want to be more of service to people. So if there's a way that you can offer more of yourself to them, that's your highest and best kind of thing to focus on, I would say right now, because it's all about how can I be more of service? How can I make more of a change? How can I help more people? It's that kind of thing. So have you been thinking about changing what you're doing slightly?
Well, yeah. I'm thinking, like I worked in an elementary school, and I'm thinking, it's all up in the air. I don't know, but trying to go into this, it's called life skills.
Mm-hmm.
And working in a life skills.
Okay. I think your services are going to be better suited to do that because you're going to be able to reach more people. Like the information that you're going to provide to them in doing life skills rather than working one-on-one like previously what you were doing, you're going to be able to get through to more people and help more people. Do you notice that in your job previously, like regardless of the WCB and the ICBC, did you notice that you were burning out a little bit?
Yes.
Okay.
I think maybe.
So your birthday is prone to like give too much and not take enough for yourself, which would indicate to me with this birthday, I would think very seriously about self-care. That has to be like paramount for you, or you will run out of gas and it'll be hard for you to perform your work. So especially if you're going back not knowing where they're going to place you or what you're going to be doing, you need to be doing more self-care for yourself. Does that make sense to you? You're always there for everyone else. Always. You're the go-to person. I would say even in your family, when something happens, your phone rings and they're like, Sabrina, this happened. What should we do? You're the resource person for a lot of people.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
I would say with this birthday, self-care. So whatever your needs are, make sure they're being met. And that's even in conjunction with you going back. Make sure it's going to work for you before you say, yes, I'll try that. I'll try that position, or I'll try that life skills. Make sure it works well for you. Because
so
right now
you see me maybe. Pardon me?
Go ahead.
Do you see me heading into life skills then, or?
I see you reaching out to more people doing life skills than to go back to doing what you were doing previously.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a strong ability to teach other people. You're also a healer and an artist. Like you have creative, compassionate, loving energy that's very nurturing. But your strong skill is teaching. I know you work in the school system. You said that, but life skills is teaching. It's like you're showing them, you're practicing with them, you're explaining it to them. Life skills it would be ideal for you.
Okay, so you see things finally starting to turn around then.
I do. You need to really trust yourself. You need to pull it back and really trust yourself, because you have a logical, scientific mind, but you're very intuitive and you doubt yourself. Does that make sense for you? Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, I think I went through a period where I had to just accept what's happened in the past.
Yeah.
And I think once I got past that, I started slowly. I'm starting slowly to move forward, I hope.
I believe you are.
Okay.
Sorry, very cool. Joanna, do you have anything?
Sabrina, you have a mother figure on the other side, is that correct?
Mother figure. Grandmother, aunt.
Somebody that would be as a mother figure, and I'm getting the letter O in their name, first or last, it doesn't matter what order. Would you know who I'm talking about? Okay.
Yes, that'd be my grandmother, Ophelia.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Joanna, could you ask Ophelia to stand by? I've got to take a break.
Of course.
Okay. We're right back with Ophelia and and the rest of our shortly.
Become more intimate and interactive with Spaced Out Radio. Join our Space Travelers Club with your new membership. For $5 a month, we'll provide you with special access to the website, monthly prize draws from books to psychic readings, along with monthly newsletter, private interviews, and more. Sign up today to be part of Spaced Out Radio's experience.
Are you an ET experiencer, but you just don't know what's going on? Are you too timid or shy to discuss it with anyone? Maybe I can help. Join me, R. Keith Andrews, the first Friday of every month on Spaced Out Radio, and I will help you to find the answers you're looking for. Together, I will help you understand the off-worlders and the true meanings behind your experiences. All you have to do is join us in the Spaced Out Radio chat room. See you there.
Hey everybody, this is Patrick Webster Small, and I'm here to bring you the Webster Phenomena every Saturday night, live at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. If you're looking for aliens and extraterrestrials, well, we've got them. Big and tall, short and small, you're bound to find what you're looking for. So join me on the Webster Phenomena right here on Spaced Out Radio.
Hi there, this is Jolene with Reveal Reiki and Readings, and I want you to relax. Let me help you chill out and get in touch with your body, mind, and soul. In this busy world, sometimes we need to let go, and this is where I can help. Visit my website, rivuletrndr.wix.com/rivuletrndr, or my Facebook page, Rivulet R&R, to set up an appointment for relaxation, Reiki, or readings. No matter where you are, it's time for you to make time for you.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
Have you ever seen a UFO, a ghost, Bigfoot, or something else weird or arcane? This is Dave Scott, host of Spaced Out Radio. Every night, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern Time, we are live for 3 hours of jam-packed information with the top guests from their field of expertise. Come take a listen and share your experiences with us. You can find everything you need at spacedoutradio.com. Are you experienced?
Have you ever wondered about those weird and strange creatures people have reported throughout history? Do you wonder if those stories are real? Me too, and that's why I started Cryptopia.us. Hey, this is Rob Morphy, crypto historian. Join me once a month on Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott, where we will get into the odd and bizarre reports, from the Dover demon to hairy hominids and everything in between. I will break down what people like you and me are seeing at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for a place to get your product to the public? Advertise with us at Spaced Out Radio. At spacedoutradio.com, you can check out our pricing and packages that best suit your budgetary needs. Whether you're a budgeted author or a company looking to expand, our listeners support the products that support spacedoutradio.com. Advertising with us is an effective way to get your message out. Contact us at info@spacedoutradio.com and get your ads out today.
James Tyson can be found on Facebook at Spaced Out Weekend. You can follow James on Instagram, Spaced Out Weekend, on YouTube, Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Twitter at James Tyson SOR. And don't forget to sign up to become a space traveler on our website, spacedoutradio.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Two Mediums and a Largy. Oh, hold on. Large. And we are with Joanna the Medium, joannathemedium.com, and Paisley Town, our numberologist. I always wanted to say numberologist. Numerologist. Look her up at paisleytown.com. And keep going, you guys. Sorry for interrupting your break. So, Joanna, carry on. Oh, let's carry on. Like I'm not here.
Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, love. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
You too. By the way, is there a cat on in spirit that you would know of?
Pardon?
Is there a cat in spirit?
Yes, I do have a cat in spirit.
Yeah, she just showed me the cat for you. Okay. Ooh, awesome.
Oh, really?
Yes, she did. Yeah. So the cat is supposed to mean something to you. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yes. Okay, yes. I saw him after he passed away in spirit.
Oh, wow. Good luck, love.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we've got we saw some on the phone here. Holy cow, you guys, you're rocking it tonight, both of you.
Excellent.
We have, let me see, we get the order here. We have Laura has called back, but next we have actually Nikki, Corey, and Laura.
Oops. Somebody got upset.
Okay.
No. Can you hear us?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I
can.
can hear you. Hey, we're not Nikki, Corey, and Laura. Just Corey and Laura. Is Nikki another caller, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Laura
is Susan.
Corey and Laura.
Oh yeah, Laura is Susan. Oh my Lord. Okay. Now Nikki has it's a long and complicated question. Nikki, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am excellent. Now I'm going to let you kind of bounce it off. You can either ask for Joanna to see who pops in, and why don't you give your date of birth and name and the city you live in to Paisley, and she can do something for you like that. But your real name, because I don't know if this Nikki woman is really your name.
God damn it! Really?
So, Nikki, when is your birthday?
October 22nd, 1989.
Okay, and what's your birth name?
Stephanie.
Okay, is it with a PH?
Yeah.
Okay, and did you have a question for us?
Just kind of trying to figure out if I should quit the job I'm in and move pretty far away, or kind of just change jobs and stay where I'm at. But it's a little bit complicated, so I don't really know.
Nikki, can you speak up because I'm having trouble hearing you?
Oh, sorry. I just don't know if I should quit the job I'm in and move very far away, or stay where I'm at and try to figure it out.
Okay, and do you use the name Nikki as your nickname?
Yeah.
And you use it a lot? Like people call you Nikki?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all the time. Like no one knows my other name.
Okay, and how do you spell Nikki? Is it with a Y at the end or I-E?
No, Nikki.
Nikki. Okay. I'm just going to speak to the question about moving away or staying where you are, and seeing that as two separate opposite choices in a way. Because you're born in October and because you're born on the 22nd, you have water and fire energy, similar to what I was speaking to the other about Sabrina when she was on the air. I would say, is your job that you have right now very challenging?
Not so much.
Okay. Is moving away for this other position, do you see that being more challenging for you? Because it's very important that you do something that, like, feeds your soul.
Not necessarily, but it could possibly be. I haven't really...
Okay. There's some aspects of justice involved in what you do. Do you advocate for other people? Do you speak up for others? Is that what you do for your work?
No.
Does it make sense to you when I'm talking about justice? Balance, justice, fairness? Do you work in politics?
No.
Okay. Do you work in a union environment?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be balance and justice and politics all kind of rolled into together. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So would both positions, the one that you're thinking of staying at and the one you're considering moving to, are they both union environment?
No.
Okay. You do better to work in a union environment. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, but it's not necessarily the job that I want to be doing.
Okay, well, the reason it's not the job that you want to be doing is because you might be doing that job because it pays the bills or it's the right kind of pay. But I would say you need to be doing something where you're making a difference to other people, and it's something engaging for you because you have the ability to work in a administrative, structured, clean, quiet environment, but you also have the ability to work in a chaotic, busy, loud, noisy environment. What is the position you're doing now? Is it quiet or busy?
It's very quiet right now. It has been very busy in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll say when it's very busy, do you notice that you enjoy your job a lot more?
Yeah.
Do you see that job getting busier where you are?
No.
Okay.
So go work for the union label.
We have a bunch of other psychics on the line, James.
Yeah, who's singing that?
Yeah, it's done here. You have a shower.
Who's that? Hey, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have somebody else there with you?
No.
Okay.
All right.
So I'll just say this. I'll say, Nikki, if work is very challenging for you and busy and engaging, it's a much better environment for you to be in. Do you know if the new position that you're considering is going to be super challenging for you or not? Because people,
I presume at the beginning it would be, yes.
and do you assume that it's busy at the beginning and then it gets quiet like your job now?
I would anticipate that, yeah.
Okay, because quiet doesn't work that well for you. As soon as it gets too quiet, like you really need to be doing something that feeds your passion. You have a lot of passionate energy, and you're just more engaged when you can be stimulated. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And do you work in the field that helps and heals other people, or provides a service or a product that helps people?
No, but I wanted to. That's what my goal was.
Mm-hmm. And yet you thought it would be different than it is, or?
I know it's completely different than that. It's
Yeah.
completely outside that.
Yeah, the name Nikki is a 9, and because of the year that you're born in, this other 9, these two numbers indicate to me that helping and being of service, being compassionate, nurturing, feeding other people. When I say feeding other people, I'm not necessarily speaking of food, but it could be like a chef, or it could be feeding other people, like a counselor or like a support person to them, or working in hospice. That's what I'm talking about when I say feeding other people. Okay, so you have a strong desire you can work in any environment, but it has to be busy. If it's boring, if it's slow, it's not the job for you.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, so I can't tell you which job is going to be more engaging, but whichever one is more engaging is going to be better for you.
Oh, yeah, probably. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Does that make sense, Nikki?
Yeah, it does. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Joanna, there's a lot of things going on in Nikki's life that would be good to give her a little bit of counseling on. Is there anybody who could step forward to maybe help her or give her some advice that you've got?
Well, I don't have anybody in particular, but I was picking up other information aside from the job itself. So what I was picking up is, first of all, what Spirit said to me is that Nikki's trying to get away from something, but that may not necessarily have anything to do with the job. Mm-hmm. And when I tuned into that energy, it was evident to me that the job is being, quote unquote, used as an escape for something other than the job itself. Nikki, does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to address the job, and I'm not going to address whatever that is. But what's being said to you is that you really have to look at that issue before you proceed with the job decision, because the job at this point is secondary to what's going on right now with you.
Yeah.
Okay. And the card patience came up, and the root chakra came up. Patience is pretty self-explanatory. Patience was pertaining to the job, which means, okay, put that aside for a second. But the root chakra, when I connected with this root chakra, there was again a feeling, an element of you needing to escape from something or someone. And that is something that you need to look at and resolve before you look at any other options pertaining to work. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Also, as I talk about it, I have a really heavy feeling in my heart, which tells me whatever I'm talking about is quite emotionally invested, or you're quite emotionally invested in.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But it's not a happy feeling that I'm getting. It is a heavy feeling. So you've got some emotional issues or challenges to work through before the job subject comes up.
Yeah, but I just don't want to wait too long to deal with that stuff. So I'd rather just go.
That's escape.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can choose that, but I'm just telling you what Spirit is saying. And patience it's in my face right now. So, and that's for you to be patient with that. Whatever it is he's talking about, and it's none of my business, I don't want to know, that needs your attention more than anything.
Okay.
And if you don't resolve this right now, you will move away to a different city, a different country. A similar situation will present itself to you again because you're not dealing with this. In other words, you can escape this one, but another one will surely present itself that's going to be a copycat what you've left.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so that's what that's what needs to be addressed here.
Okay.
Does that help? Does that help?
Yeah, it does. I kind of figured anything. No, don't apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, the moment you asked about the work, I just went, oh, no, that's not really the issue here.
No, it's not. I know it's not. It's same thing. Always running, but...
Yeah, don't run. There's no need for you to run. Just do what needs to be done and then move forward accordingly.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Because whatever this is, you can't outrun it.
No, I can't.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, also I'm being told to tell you, please leave the past behind.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very important.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
Nikki.
thank you.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
take care.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi,
Okay, Susan.
Susan. It's Paisley.
And with that tone of voice, no, it's Laura. Okay,
So-
just so you know, in 2 minutes, I've got to take a break.
Okay, that's perfect. So, Laura, Susan, do you have a question for me?
I was just curious, is there going to be any significant changes in my life anytime soon?
I'm going to say yes, yes, yes. There's always significant changes in your life. Sometimes you get really impatient with how slow things are going, and things are constantly changing for you in your world. I'll say that's kind of the status quo for you. Does that make sense to you?
No.
Are you
Kind
feeling
of
really
slow
unmotivated right now? I don't mean right now while you're on the air, but I'm going to say at this time in your life, are you feeling like not very ambitious?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. You have the ability to go very fast with things or be very lazy and procrastinate and put things off and drag your heels. Does that explain your personality? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And have you noticed a little bit of your temper coming up?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're me.
After the commercial break, are you almost ready now, James?
Yeah, let's do it now, and then we'll
Okay.
get it out of the way and just go carry back.
So
Sorry,
stay
Susan.
tuned, Laura. That's perfect.
No problem.
Hi there. This is your psychic medium, Joanna, and I would love it if you would join us every other Sunday on Spaced Out Weekend. With host James Tyson, we'll bring you personal psychic messages on 2 mediums and a large. Questions about love, life, career changes. We would love it if you would come and join us live. Call in and listen in for the experience. Allow us to open the doors to your other side. 2 mediums and a large, heard only on Spaced Out Weekend at spacedoutradio.com.
Attention Spaced Out Radio listeners. For only $5 a month, you can join Spaced Out Radio Space Travelers. Your membership at spacedoutradio.com will give you access to private fan area on the website, get you a monthly newsletter, draws for monthly swag, and a whole lot more. Sign up today to become a part of the Spaced Out Radio experience.
Hi there, this is Spaced Out Radio host Dave Scott. Join me Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern Time at spacedoutradio.com, where we delve into all things paranormal, supernatural, extraterrestrial, crypto, and all topics in between. Come on by, take a listen, and tell us about your experiences. We are here for the answers you need. Spaced Out Radio, broadcasting right out of this world.
Strange creatures lurking in the night, the sounds of wood knocking in the forest, odd happenings right out of a fictional world. These are the reports I love. Hi there, this is author Ronald Murphy, and I would love it if you join me and Spaced Out Radio host Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month on our journey into the unknown land of cryptozoology at spacedoutradio.com. from Mothman to Frogman and everything in between. Hey, they don't call me the crypto guru for nothing.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle. Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
Every month on Spaced Out Radio, we look into the deep and dark reports of cryptids roaming around the world with me, Rob Morphy, from Cryptopia.us. I would love it if you would join me and host Dave Scott as we delve into the most arcane stories and reports regarding creatures of the unknown. My job is to hunt down the details and bring the evidence forward to you. These aren't your regular Bigfoot stories I'm talking about either. You can find out more about crypto history at spacedoutradio.com.
With an ever-expanding listenership base, Spaced Out Radio is the perfect place for you to advertise your product. Our listeners support those who sponsor this show. So whether you're an author or a company, Spaced Out Radio is the perfect place for you. Our pricing is more than competitive, and your advertisements will be seen and heard every show. Head to spacedoutradio.com and advertise with us today. Contact us at info@spacedoutradio.com today.
Tonight's edition of Spaced Out Weekend is brought to you by spacedoutradio.com, where you can now sign up to become a Space Traveler member. Now, for the final time tonight, here's Spaced Out Weekend's James Tyson.
Welcome back, everybody. We are in the final quarter here with Two Mediums and Large. That is Joanna the Medium from joannathemedium.com and Paisley Town, paisleytown.comish. And if you are still out there, hanging out there, you want to call in, it is 1-575-694-6634. Again, 575-694-6634. And we're going to go to a young lady who's been holding for that seems to be forever. Carry on, you people out there. Susan.
Hi, Laura. We're going to call you Laura Susan. So you said you had a question you wanted to ask, right?
I thought I did.
Yeah, okay. I thought your question is about work and about if there's going to be any change. Is that correct?
Not really about work, but any significant changes in my life, like, marriage or again.
Okay. You partner very well with people. I would say when you're not in partnership with people, whether it be with work or whether it be in relationship, you feel a little bit lost because working as a team and being in partnership really, really works well for you. But before the commercial break, I was talking about fire energy. And so fire energy will present itself as going very quickly and moving forward fast and having lots of changes, having lots of choices, having lots of options in life, or fire energy can be stagnant and sort of stopped or slow or stuck or not motivated, if that kind of makes sense. And you were saying, yes, you're feeling unmotivated. Do you do any cardio activity?
At times.
Okay. Do you notice when you're doing cardio activity on a regular basis that your ambition gets pumped up? Like you can take on more things and do more things, and you're more motivated to move yourself forward. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
More energy. Yeah.
Okay. And so I would say because the name Susan is a 4, the name Laura is a 2, being born on the 4th of June, All these numbers are fire numbers, and you have a lot of fire energy. So I'll say you have a lot of passion that can be utilized if you're moving yourself forward quickly. So I would say the best way for you to do that would be to do cardio.
If you're using the name Laura for anything in there, my name has nothing to do with that.
Okay. Well, the name Susan is a 4, and you're born on the 4th of June. So those two numbers are fire numbers, and that would indicate a lot of passion.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would just highly recommend doing cardio on a regular basis, like every week, like not skipping a week. Even if you go on vacation, do cardio. Keep it up, and it'll keep propelling you forward so that you can meet people, you can be in relationship, you can have changes going on constantly, because you do very well when things are busy and fast and chaotic. You function really well in chaos.
Oh, I do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't like it.
That's why we're trying to make changes and move forward. Like that's, yeah. I think what I'm hearing you say, you don't like chaos, but I think what happens for you is you don't like any kind of conflict. Does that make sense? You like harmony. You like things to go smoothly. You like peace. So I'd say you would never go to like an anti-war rally. You would go to a peace rally.
Right.
You just don't like conflict. Yeah.
No.
That's what I'm getting from your numbers. Joanna, did you have anything to add?
Yes, a couple of cards came up, and just before you said the word stagnant, I actually heard the energy stagnant around whichever name you want me to use for you. There is choices and decisions coming up for you, but here is a bit of a interesting twist to this. What he's saying to me is that you're at the point in your life where you really need to make some decisions based on where you're going. But in order for you to make those decisions, first and foremost, you need to spend some time looking within first. And he says that is not happening.
I've been trying to do that for 8 years now.
So I'm going to ask him why he's showing me this then. Just give me 1 second. He says you're not paying enough attention to your intuition. Does that make any sense to you? He points at your head. That always tells me that someone is quite analytical. But does that statement make any sense to you?
I suppose, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask him what advice he has for you. He's saying to me that you have to stop pleasing others and start looking at yourself and making yourself first. Now, I don't know you at all. Does that mean anything to you?
Well, that's where I get my comfort at, is pleasing others.
Okay, but do remember, but please remember, the reason why we have a tendency to please people is because consciously or subconsciously, we want to be validated or we want to belong. That's why we do it. That's why we do it. So there's a difference between compassion. There's a difference of being a pleaser. And pleasing for the most part is because we're trying to gain acceptance. And what he's saying to me is that there are choices and decisions that are coming up for you. But unless you look deep within and try to figure out what makes you tick, the decisions will be made for you rather than you making them for yourself.
Right.
Okay. Now that's not a statement that's meant to be heavy. It's meant to empower you and show you that, hey, you know, life is full of surprises and good things, but unless you actually look within and figure out what makes you tick and stop pleasing others for the sake of wanting to belong, you actually might end up in a place that's much more happy than when you are right now. So what he's basically saying, he's saying, you can change this, but in order for you to do that, you need to look deep inside first and foremost, and you need to start paying attention to your intuition. Because he says to me, intuition has been pretty strong, but you're a little bit timid listening to it, and could be because you're not sure how, or you're not sure how to recognize it. Though I don't think that's the case. More often than not, we don't want to listen to intuition because we don't know what to do with it, and we're afraid, of the unknown. But with intuition, it's the word trust comes up. So incidentally, the card is number 9. 9 to me is indication of culminations and endings of certain cycles. So there's very much an opportunity for you to end a certain way of being. But he's saying to me, you're being stubborn. Okay, and he's not saying it, he's actually with a smile on his face. Stubborn as you're clinging to your old ways. Also, boundaries, very, very, very important for you. He's saying to me, you do not have enough personal boundaries or healthy boundaries. Would you agree with that? And also saying,
yeah.
You say, sorry?
Right, I don't.
Yeah, he's also saying, he's also saying to me that saying no for you is very difficult. And again, that's a pleaser thing. I used to do that all the time. So healthy boundaries and learning how to say no will go a long way for you. Incidentally, do you have a pet or a dog?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask him why is it a dog?
I have 2 dogs and a cat.
Okay, I'm going to ask him why he's showing me the dog. Okay, he says, pay attention how the dogs treat you, and you will understand the dynamic between you and another being. And he's showing me the dogs, what's the word I want to use? The dogs are in control of you as opposed to the other way around. Would you understand that?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you what he's showing me. Would you say your dogs listen to you? Well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Then disregard that statement, because what he said to me, it was so clear to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, then just disregard it. See if it makes sense to you at some other point. But oftentimes sorry?
Nothing. I was going to say maybe it was the last man in my life.
No, this was a dog. This was a dog.
A real dog.
Definitely a dog. Oftentimes, our dogs will show us whether we have clear boundaries or not. And but if that doesn't apply to you, then I'm going to tell him that it makes no sense to you and just leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I hope that was helpful. You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for waiting for forever.
Oh, no problem.
Okay. Have a good night. Have a wonderful week.
Oh, you too.
Thanks, Susan. Take care.
Good night.
Good night. Who do we have next? Elizabeth, did you have an interesting question? Oh, Elizabeth.
I do. Is anybody else waiting?
Well, Derek, and Derek has a really complicated one that you have to stick around and listen to.
Okay, I will listen to that. Well, I could ask complicated ones. So I
Don't.
have.
No, I'm kidding.
I could. I mean, I actually have some ones that. Is this Derek?
Yes.
Or somebody? Yeah.
It's
okay.
Derek.
Yeah. I have something in my possession that I actually would like everybody to look at, but I don't think we should do it on air necessarily. Gosh darn it, James Tyson, you get me confounded and discombobulated.
Elizabeth, it's a PG
my
show.
Question is, there's something coming up for me in November that's very stressful, and I think it has to do with the health of my friend Rob. And I was just wondering if I'm giving you too much information, or if you can check on that. And I can give you his birthday if you need it.
Sure, I'll take his birthday.
It is 8/20/1960.
8/20/1960? Okay, and his name is Robert, is that correct?
It is, Robert, yep.
Okay.
So what is the question around it?
I feel I got myself being very, very stressed out when I send myself Reiki into the future in November, and I've kind of been scanning around it going, why am I so stressed out? I'm really, really stressed out. And it keeps coming up for me that it may be about him. He's been having some health issues, and sometimes he's not always safe with his health issues. But I'm not sure if that's it at all.
What I got, which is a very strange word, typically it's not something that I would use in a regular conversation, but when I asked anything about Rob and November, which is what you're referring to, I got the word transition. Now, I don't know what that means to me, but does that mean anything to you with him?
Oh, I know exactly what that means, and that's what I was afraid of, but it actually helps me because I can figure out what I need to do. And that's really, really heavy. I'm sorry, folks, and I know you probably didn't want to do that, but I know exactly what that means.
Okay. Also, I don't see anything beyond the word transition and see nothing.
Yep, that's okay. You don't need to.
Does that make sense to you?
Yep, that you just confirmed what I feared, but with him, I need to know because he doesn't plan.
I got chills all over me, so whatever it is, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And also, Elizabeth, I just wanted to add, like, if he's not a planner, that makes total sense based on his birthday and his name. He has the ability to be chaotic, and later in life, in his 60s, he will start to plan more.
Oh, well, that will be interesting.
Mm-hmm. He does well in chaos. Like, if he's in confusion and going in 3 directions at once, that's perfect for him. That just fits his personality.
Okay.
Like, I would say even the way he lives, it's chaotic. Like, he loses things, he can't find things, things are kind of messed up around him, all around him. And he worries too much. He's in his head, like, worrying constantly. He's in the future.
Yeah. No, that's him. That's how he is. And so sometimes it's just, as somebody who loves him for the sweetheart he is, he can be difficult because it's like, oh, all right. But, yeah,
I hope that's
will
helpful.
Get ready for November.
Perfect.
So.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Oh, do you guys want to know what my thing is?
Yes.
Maybe is. I got a sample of hair.
Oh, whose hair?
Exactly.
Oh, a Sasquatch?
Is that a guess, or did that come to you?
It just came to me. As a guess? I don't know. Is it?
It is a suspected sample of Sasquatch. I'm just wondering what you guys...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That just completely came out of the blue here. Wow, that even stumped me. Holy cow. Oh, my Lord.
So Joanna, if your guide was standing in front of you and kind of nodded, it's Sasquatch hair, is that kind of a confirmation that Sasquatch exists?
No, that's the first thing that came to me. It wasn't even anything I heard. It just first thing that appeared to me.
Ask your guide whose hair it is.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Please.
Ask again.
Okay, this is really out there, okay, even for me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I heard was, say it again, please. Unknown species to the humankind. Ooh.
There you go.
Awesome.
Oh, my God, I just got chills all over me.
Yeah, I
just said that.
Both of my... Oh, I got it too. Shoulders and both arms.
Shit. Oh.
Okay, what should I do with it? What should I do with this?
I'm not asking.
I'm going to tell you. I want you to go online, and some of these hairs from around the world have been sent for DNA.
That's what I just... Yeah, good.
And what they come back is unknown DNA. But what no one has done yet is taken all those unknown DNA samples and compared the strings. So the unknown DNA in Pennsylvania to the unknown DNA in California to the unknown DNA in Washington State to the unknown DNA in some other Asian country. So they're all unknowns, but no one's actually put the 4 pieces of paper beside each other and say, oh, look, they're all the same. Okay. That's what I would do.
I'm just baffled by what came out of my mouth.
I know, you swear all the time.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you mean the other thing? Yeah. Okay. Totally got that too.
Can I ask how you got The hair?
It goes to the Sasquatch barber shop.
No, someone sent it to her. Is that right, Elizabeth?
One of the communicators sent it to me,
Mhm.
and it, so that's how I got it. And
Cool.
and it's interesting because if I weren't a horse person, I might think it was horsehair, but it's not. You can tell by the texture. And some of these, the color that it is one of the longer-haired, lighter-colored Sasquatches.
The gingers?
And so, what?
The gingers.
The gingers, yeah. It's a very light ginger. And so, but the texture is off for horsehair. It's got too much of a shine to it, like human hair.
And it can be like an orangutan or anything like that?
In Idaho?
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. If that's where it was found, yeah.
It's the Idaho
That's where
orangutan.
it's found, on a farm in Idaho.
Oh, I see. Huh.
Yeah. So, but it's also very long, and that would be the thing. Is like and I've seen in pictures in my head of the ones of the lighter colored ones. I call them the strawberry blondes, or you can call them gingers or whatever. But they can have very long hair, and this is long, and it's shiny.
Do you feel it's the beard hair or the head hair?
I'm not sure because I even in my mental vision I've seen the hair other places, the longer hair. So I'm not sure. I am so close to the person who sent it that's why I'm asking you. It's like even too close to you. But I could when I pulled it out and I was like, oh, it looks like because it was like, oh, it looks like mane hair, and it was just, you touch it and you know that that's not what it is when you touch it. So it's like, I have it in my hand.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of where Derek is going to be going. And Derek, we are actually going to be, we're going to run the show longer just because Derek's question is going to floor everybody.
Oh. Is this Derek Whitescow? Like what?
No,
what?
it's Derek Faust, who we talked to him 2 weeks ago about those things that he had photographed.
Mm-hmm.
And you told him what they were. We thought they were anything from alien beings to, plus, there was that concern that the government was out to get him and all that other stuff. So he's got something that's come up in the last little while. I'll let you deal with that, Derek. Carry on.
Sure. Hey, it's Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Hi. Cool. Thanks for having me on again. I really appreciate it. So what's kind of come up in the last, 2 weeks, which could actually, if it's what I'm thinking, could kind of alter my entire story from when this started. So I've had a recent development into understanding more about what I've been calling non-stars. They are the stars that kind of appear in the sky and detach and kind of streak across and go away. But they've been coming up when I've been asking certain questions or kind of sending out intent to these light beings. So I'm wondering if you have anything in regards to those non-stars I've been seeing.
That's a completely different area for me. Let me see what I can get.
That's the cool part.
Mm.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go for it.
I'm just feeling that it's confirmation from your star family, your group, that it's actually personal to you and they are communicating with you. So that comes through as a confirmation. It's just confirmation for you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And I had not known what these things were the whole time. And this goes back to, I've had 5 a.m. wake-ups where I just get out of bed and I just get a feeling like go outside to the back door, like right now. I'll do it. Just I don't question my feelings and my intuitions anymore. I just go with them, and I'll open up the back door, and right there, like in the sky, is one of those non-stars, and then it just takes off as soon as I look at it.
You know what I got when I asked my guide, and this is completely uncharted territory for me. So part of my brain goes, "Am I making this shit up?" Excuse my French. Sorry.
I speak French, so you're fine.
But I couldn't have come up with this. What I heard was this: these are being of lights, but from a different galactic something.
Mm-hmm.
Something. Don't leave us hanging.
Hang on. They're from a different galactic, what? Galaxy?
Dimension.
Is that galactic?
Plane.
I'm not getting the word. Hang on. He says, just say galaxy.
Mm-hmm. That's what I figured. They're definitely not from this solar system or galaxy or even from this dimension. I don't think.
I told you they're Australian.
Okay, would it make because I was just being shown the number 9. Is there such thing like a 9th dimension or something?
I think there is.
Which I know nothing about, so I can't have a conversation about it.
I just got total
That's
chills
intelligent,
as
yeah.
I got the Google net up here.
Mm-hmm. I felt they were residing somewhere in the 6th to 8th dimension.
There's 10 dimensions. Oh no!
But these are not beings. They don't have bodies. They're light beings. They don't have bodies like we think of bodies. There's not even bodies like extraterrestrial. They're light beings. Huh. This is interesting.
Are you guys hearing that static as well?
Yeah, we had everything just go kind of crackly there.
Okay. Yeah, this happens a lot when I'm on the radio.
Hey, Joanna, being interfered
Are you from
with.
there, Derek? Yeah. Are you from their galaxy, mate?
No,
yes?
he's from Utah.
That's another galaxy zone for sure.
Yeah. Here's the thing I have to ask you, Joanna. And these light beings may end up approaching you. Because right now my whole left side is lit up. Not by light, but by goosebumps and chills, and right across my back. Oh, that's not cool. It's freezing. It's not cool. But I'm going to ask you, and just to be open to this, but if they don't want Derek knowing anything, then they will communicate with you. Are we stepping in? Are we moving too fast and asking
whatever
these
that question is? The answer is no.
Okay, so we're good. Derek, I was trying to articulate.
Shit!
Are we going to be asking questions that they don't want to answer?
I just got wind on me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I felt that this whole thing since the very beginning was a process of disclosure and bringing about this reality to more people.
Yeah.
Because they want... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just heard that this is about opening up to different dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. How does that... we talked earlier tonight, Elizabeth, about your divination of... And by divination, I mean kind of a quest to prepare for... kind of work on disclosure, too. How is this fitting in with what you've dealt with your contact with alien life?
Well, what I get about Eric is that this is his family, this is his star family. So the first thing is the process of disclosure and remembering for him grounding their energy here, him being having the information that they would like to come through to Earth, but also, there's more to it. That's a personal learning process, and in the trial and error learning, then you begin to. Some of this will be applied. Eric, do you do any engineering or electronics?
I don't. I did in the military. I worked, and I moved from that to more healing the body. I felt a draw towards that.
Well, you might go back into electronics in terms of waveform, like musical waveforms or waveforms. Mm-hmm. But there's information that they have for you that they want you to apply. So it could be in the healing, it could be in the waveform, it could be. And then once you've done it and worked with it, then you can start to tell people about it more and tell people about them, because there's not a real separation. This is your family. This is your star family. So you're coming here to learn about Earth, but you're also coming here to bring a depth and a richness to people on Earth from this other galaxy. So it is universalization. It's wonderful. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's part of the universe, us becoming a universal society of humans. And I wouldn't fear any of this. You'll meet the right people, and people won't get up in your grill or anything like that. So it's good. I think it's good.
Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about Orion? Is it Orion?
Orion. I believe there's Sirius A and Sirius B lying around.
I'm actually looking on net here because that's what came to me. Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about it? Because I don't.
Somewhat. I mean, I'd have to do a refresh, but I'm familiar with that. It's a constellation? Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Could I tell you something weird?
Please.
About a month ago, I know this was in May. About a month ago, I had when I was doing my monthly YouTube readings, I had a completely different energy come through to me that was told to me is more of a connect. What's the word, please? Collective. I'm complete loss of words right now.
I know what you mean.
Collective consciousness. Rather than just one particular being. Mm-hmm. And the name Orion came to me, and I at that point did never heard of it. And that was about a month ago. Mm-hmm. So I have no clue. I'm just saying, I don't know.
Good. No, that's great, because I've wondered kind of what area that I've resonated with.
Yeah. And to top it off, okay, this is really bizarre, and I love this stuff.
Me too.
One of my YouTube viewers emailed me, and he said to me, okay, this is freaky. He said to me, I like you, blah, 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 blah. He was really liked my readings and my style. And he said to me this, I feel that you would greatly benefit from this deck of cards. And if you can't find them, I will send them to you at no charge. And the cards are called Galactic Heritage Cards.
Wow.
And I ordered them, and I have them sitting in front of me. They're so intimidating that I haven't looked with how to work with them. But it is like, it's about different galaxies. And it is so out of my element. But this person, he wrote a few emails to me, and we've exchanged a few emails back and forth. And just by the way he writes, he's not from this planet. I know he's not. Because his perception of how he looks at the world and human behavior is one of an observer, not a participant. It's just very different. Mm-hmm. And the way he talks about different things, I just kind of went, wow, this was kind of interesting. So I have these deck of cards, and they're called Galactic Heritage Cards. And they were actually channeled through, I forget what the collective energy is. I could look it up later, but this is all just in the last month and a half or so.
Wow, what synchronicity.
Yeah.
Wow.
When stuff happens, it happens.
Right. James, do you mind if we ask about that UFO video I sent you?
Yeah.
Yes. So the other day I was leaving school, and right as soon as I got to my car, I heard a plane coming along on its descent. So I know nothing can be in the airspace of a descending plane, but yet I saw this like blob of metallic jelly that was like rolling around forward and away from me in the sky. And I grabbed my camera and recorded it, and then I went to go get a picture of it with a better camera, and it just disappeared. So I'm wondering if anything... Go ahead.
No, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I was wondering if Joanna knows anything about that or can get some background on it too. Joanna?
I'm trying to tune in here.
Okay, I apologize.
No, it's okay. Oh, when I asked the question, can you tell me anything about what was just asked? I got the word home. Home.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not for me. Home. I don't want to interpret.
I know what that means.
Do you understand what that means?
I know exactly what that means.
Okay.
So I've had my heart-to-heart with my friends, and that's when everything...
I just got chills. Wow.
Everything is kicked up. That daytime viewing was not something that I've ever seen before. So I feel like it's coming alive again, which I'm happy about.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because everything, the nighttime stuff kind of dropped off for a while, didn't it?
It did. It did.
Well, cool. Remind me never to hang out with you.
I'll hang out with you anytime. Oh my, exciting.
Right?
You and Elizabeth could get along great.
Right?
What I also get is that they're a little bit cautious of coming too close, so that they don't. So that I don't even want to use the word they. It just seems inappropriate. So that you don't get scared.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's been intense. They've been right across the street, and I have pictures of them in they're normally light beings, but one of them manifested itself into a physical rainbow-looking being.
Did it have big eyes?
Yeah, like little, and a nose and like a slit for a mouth.
Yeah, but I mean eyes, huge eyes. No?
No, not huge eyes.
Okay.
Why do you ask that, Joanne?
Because I'm seeing a vision, but that might be my Anna, my little alien. Well, she's not little. I have an alien Anna as one of my spirit guides. It's fairly new. So
any female feline that you see around me or in this group?
Felines?
Female feline.
Like female cat?
Yeah. Like a female feline being, not a cat.
That's what I thought you said.
Like a lion person.
Like a female
lion person.
Yeah, females. Okay.
Yes.
I'm seeing two beings around you. Let me just see, because I'm trying to see which angle I'm looking from. The one on your left is a female. The one on your right is a male.
Are those my guides?
Yes. But I also get a sense, I don't see it, I get a sense there's a third one, but it's further out behind you. Oh, hang on. She's showing me an image of a baby, and this is a human baby. And when I ask what this means, she's saying to me, oh, hang on one second, hang on. Okay, this is so bizarre. She's handling a baby into this earth. As if I had to interpret, it's like this being is handling a human baby that's supposed to be you. Can you give me more?
The way she put it to me was, she's your mom.
Okay, that makes
sense. It was just mom. Yeah. So I was going to ask you, Derek, where are your parents? Because according to her, she's your mom.
Right. I've felt that, I have a connection to my mom and dad, but I have not really felt that they're in my soul group.
I'm the same with my parents. Yeah. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as a matter of fact, I know with every part of my being that we're just not from the same soul group.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been monumental in my development and stuff, but I don't get that soul group feeling.
Interesting.
Wow, this is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And just this afternoon, I had a chat on IM with somebody who I gave reading the other day for. Out of the blue, we started talking about aliens, and he says, you've got to see this show. He says, you're so about aliens. I'm like, how do you even know? You don't know me. Just totally random.
And now, me with my out of your phone coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something for you, too.
I think so. I've been fascinated with aliens since I was about 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Since that was that young. Yeah. And I actually saw what I, as a child, could remember was like 5 stars in the sky, and they went up and down, up and down, up and down, and then all the way up, all in synchronicity. And stars don't go up and down.
No.
I saw that with my dad when I was young.
Have I ever been abducted and not known about it? Taking off planet?
Okay, that's very strange, because the first thing I heard no, but then I heard many times. Which makes no sense to me, because that's a total contradiction.
Maybe that's a reason why I'm... Go ahead.
I don't think you're a physical abductee. I think you astral travel.
Okay.
And some people would call that astral abduction. But I'm not seeing anything hurtful or traumatic, but I do see, just the necessity of energetic contact to grant you want to be connected with your source, with your soul source and your soul group. It strengthens your ability to ground on earth. And so there have been many times that you have been in their presence, you just haven't been conscious of it. It's the kind of astral thing that you forget. But I'm not seeing anything, like here, let's make babies or anything like that. It's,
okay.
It's not, it's just, let's go hang out with my group.
It's a very nurturing feeling.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really positive and good for you and good for your body and good for your spirit.
Derek, this is probably a fairly, I don't even know if I'll ask it. When you were a little boy, did you have Tonka trucks?
Yes.
Okay, because that's what I was shown, and I thought, well, doesn't every boy has Tonka trucks? And they just said, just say it.
Mm-hmm.
So, was one at least particularly yellow?
Yes, that's what I was picturing in my head when you said Tonka.
Wow. Okay. The reason why I'm saying this, because I'm seeing you as a little boy playing, and there is this non-human female presence standing and watching you.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody can see her, and I don't feel you can see her either. And I feel it's the same lady that was showing me the baby, the human baby. It's a very nurturing energy. Very nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Oh my God.
Very cool. Very cool. That's
I feel her feeling. She's looking at you and she's like, that's my boy. I'm so proud. That's my boy.
It's so cool.
Just really is proud of you.
Do you ever feel like you don't belong here, or do you feel off, or have you ever felt that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I belong here.
Yeah, I've had few clients in my hypnotherapy sessions who just when they walked in without saying a word, energetically, I felt their energy didn't fit. And with having, with 5-minute conversation, I could see, especially in their hands, there's something about their fingers and their hands that look different. I don't know how to explain it, but they look different. And I knew they were either walk-ins or from a completely different planet, or at least spent more time on different planets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt that way for a long time. Ever since I could remember. But not that I can't fit in.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Just the feeling of like you don't fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. James, are you alive still?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I just like this is I'm just sitting back and listening. It's one of those things that we had a conversation with Elizabeth earlier about physical abductions and that kind of thing.
And that's reassuring that I haven't been taken against my will or anything, because I have had a couple concerns about that. And the weird, mysterious footprint. Oh, can you tell me who left the footprint outside of my house that caused me to move? It was that strange. I'll have to send you guys a picture, but
I'm not getting anything on that.
That was some kind of SSP thing, and it's not surprising you're not picking up on anything, because maybe it's blocked.
What does SSP mean?
Yeah.
Secret Space Program.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is it? What is that again?
SSP, the Secret Space Program.
Oh.
This was a human footprint that was made leaving my house in the snow, but there was only one print. There was no prints coming up the stairs, down the stairs, or anywhere.
Okay, that's freaky.
The tread was completely... I've never seen tread like this. It doesn't have a sign, a symbol, Nike, swoosh, nothing. And the tread is not a sports shoe. It's not a hiking boot. It looks like a moon boot. And there's only one of them.
It's a snow boot.
Well, it's a bunny, but it could be Air Force bunny boots. But that would still make sense, because if they were military. Have you seen the Air Force bunny boots? They're kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if they were military and they stepped outside and then left, that would look weird like that.
Yeah. But there was no way that they could have not made a footprint in the snow coming up or leaving. The foot was huge, and it was that night. It was like the day or the day after I started to come out with my story, and that night I felt the need to ask Archangel Michael and every single thing I could think of to come and protect my house that night. And then I wake up and that footprint is out there.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of the Zayton Collective with boots on, but I don't know what the tread looks like. I've just seen, from the feet up.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the bottom.
Mm-hmm. I'll send you a picture, James.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure Elizabeth gets it too.
Right. Yeah, it's creepy.
Now, what's your YouTube channel? So we can look at some of these videos.
Yeah, and you guys can see the light beings that materialize into a solid form. It's really cool. So it's Derrick's, DERRICKS, light, LIGHT, friends, FRIENDS.
So DERRICKS?
Light friends. All one word. Or
light friend.
Yeah, all one word. Or you can do light beings documented. And now you can find that too.
Let's see. Derrick Light Friends. There we go.
Derrick's Light Friends.
Derrick's Light Friends. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and I'll be. I gotta update my YouTube channel. I have mountains and mountains of videos and.
You only have one video up?
Yeah, just one video,
okay.
And that's just for like a 2-week period of time, and it was that intense.
Yeah, some of them near the end when he zooms in on them, it looks like if you were to drop like yellow yogurt onto the floor, it kind of splat, but it's like three-dimensional, blobby. Yeah, they're really, really cool.
Yeah, and one of them looks just like a feline, even with an eye patch on. So that's why I asked about the feline.
The pirate cat.
Yeah, the pirate cat. He looks like a badass.
Have you read The Lion People by Athena Williams? Derek?
I have not. But I have.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a really important book for me. I read it in the first year, into doing research, and it really helped me a lot. I'm not sure if it's in print. You might have to go to HAF or somewhere to get it, but it's The Lion People by Athena Williams, who was a psychic medium from the UK. I think she is past now, or she's very, very old. But she writes, she basically channeled a book from the Lion People. And I think they're from the Orion system, but I could be wrong about that. You'd have to check.
No, you're right on that. So that all kind of ties that in right there. That's interesting.
Cool. I just Googled The Lion People and the felines, parent race of humans. The felines are of two primary races in our universe. Parent race of humans. Interesting.
Very. I've heard they're the protectors as well.
Yeah.
They're wonderful healers. They're wonderful enlighteners of individuals and healers. And some of the meditations in the book are just beautiful and very phenomenal.
Perfect. I'm going to have to get that.
Oh, it's kind of, I'm looking through here, and it's the beginning, very small since it's talking about some surviving, but it talks about the Lyrian Council and again the Orion Councils.
Really?
Doubled as the administrative arms of the new fledgling federation, blah, blah, blah. But it's interesting. Huh. Jeller Star. And you can get the Spanish version.
Oh, muy bien.
Also, the Galactic Federation of Worlds is another book. Some of the races represented in the Galactic Federation. Holy cow! There's a whack of bizarre things out there. They're from the Lyra constellation. Lyra.
Yeah, Lyra.
Lyra.
Yeah.
Lyra.
Huh. Well, who'd have thunk? Derek, stay in Utah.
Hey, I'm supposed to be here. I
What's
know
that?
I'm supposed to be in Utah. Maybe it has something to do with the LDS something. I don't know, but I'm supposed to be in Utah.
Yeah. It's a Mormon thing.
Yeah.
Have you met Nathan? Have you met Nathan Kolashal yet?
In
your travels?
I have not.
Look him up on Facebook. He's interesting. He's a photographer. He's trying to put together UFO expos. He's young.
Oh wow, Nathan. What's his last name?
Kolashal COWLISHAW. And he's always happy to talk to anybody in Utah who is into aliens because it's Utah,
Oh yeah, and I've got a ton. I can keep him busy for a minute.
A minute.
These felines are bipeds 12 to 16 feet tall. Crikey.
Yeah. Electric manes, all kinds of stuff. And when I thought about these things being lions and felines, I started to see lions and felines popping up on rocks. Like just the way that the rock would look, it would make a perfect like lion being with like electric flowing mane, and I'm like, holy shit, that looks like them, like that would be them or something.
You do speak French.
Oui, yes, a little bit.
Married. That's cool. Bird people, felines, humans.
Do we need to go to commercial, James, or are we off?
There is no commercials.
Off
our
now.
show was over 25 minutes ago, but we're still broadcasting. We can all go home and go to sleep now if you want.
Yeah, I got a reading at 9 o'clock, so.
Yeah, I've got an interview at 10. And Derek's got to fly somewhere. Paisley's got what?
Paisley's going to be abducted. I'm just kidding.
Abducted.
Paisley went to sleep.
And
if I'm ever abducted, I just want to be asked for permission.
What I was told, if you're abducted by somebody you don't like, you demand somebody of a higher, demand a higher being to come in and deal with you, as opposed to the little dummies. I shouldn't say dummies.
Yeah.
But you have a choice. So
The plebes. You don't want to, if the plebes, if you don't like the plebes, then you ask for the...
Yeah, go straight to the supervisor.
And they'll listen?
Yeah. Because you probably scare the bejiggers at them because you know to ask for their supervisors. What? Damn it. We almost had this one naked, and now she wants real people. Okay. Derek, thanks very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Derek. That was enlightening. Oh, my gosh.
Great. Yeah, thank you. For me, too. I'm totally humbled by your guys' advice and everything, so thank you so much.
Oh, I hope to hear from you again. And, upload those videos. I'd love to watch them.
Oh, they're amazing. You can, feel the energy coming off of them. They're amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
James, do you remember at the very beginning of our show, well, not the very beginning, but last year at some point, probably before Christmas, we had two ladies call, and they were completely from two different cities, and both kept having these experiences with lights coming to them close up and communicating with them, and they didn't know what to do with it. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
And then I put them... Yeah. And they both wrote me emails, and I put them both in touch together, and they became pen pals.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they both called in the show, and that was very interesting.
So it's another light connection. I think we're going to get a few more of these, Joanna. This is kind of
I hope so.
This is
I'm
where
totally open.
We're kind of going with the whole opening of sensitivity and things. Yes, we can get messages from dear ones in regards to our life that we're going through right now, but there's some other things popping up, like in Derek's life and Elizabeth's life, and more people are becoming open and being introduced, let's say, to things like this. So who knows? Again, thanks very much, Derek, and you can go look at his YouTube at Derek's Light Friends. Just Google Derek Light's Friends. You can also find Joanna at joannathemedium.com and Paisley Town, if she's still awake, at paisleytown.com. And thank you, Elizabeth Anglin. It's been great.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Later.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for listening.
Soon. Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Night.
No more bad dreams now, Derek. Off you go. We'll see ya.
Bye.
This is our last goodbye. Young hearts will stop. Torn souls set free. All that we have is now. If this is what you want, then come to me.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. And hey! Let's be careful out there.
Far over the snow, what are those voices? They sing as they go, what are those voices? Look over the mountain, if you dead or alive. And protect yourself. If you're the one, better run away. Son, you are done. Throw your gun away. Here come the Mounties to get the